every detail and every moment of your case. Paralegals, legal assistants, investigators, buildings with boxes of evidence. Every resource carefully designed to get you the most possible. And at Morgan & Morgan, we even have a dedicated team to make sure that your calls are returned that very same day. Injured? Dial pound law. That's pound 529. All law firms are not the same. There's only one Morgan & Morgan. ForThePeople.com.
Injured? Visit ForThePeople.com for an office near you.
The NFL playoff picture is locked in, and your go-to place for wildcard round action is DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. To kick off the road to Super Bowl 57, new customers can bet just $5 and get $200 in free bets instantly. Plus, all new and existing customers can get a no-sweat bet each day of the wildcard round this weekend. Just place any NFL bet of your choice, and if it loses, you'll get a free bet back up to $10. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code FANATIC. New customers can bet just $5 on NFL and get $200 in free bets instantly. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code FANATIC. Must be 21 or older, Pennsylvania only. Bonus issued as free bets. One free bet issued based on amount of initial losing NFL bet up to $10. Eligibility, wagering, and deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Penalty is charged.
If you are a personal injury attorney in the Philadelphia area, we dare you to Google, who's the best lawyer near me? If your firm does not show up on the first page of the search results, then you are guilty of marketing malpractice.
For as little as $499 per month, BuildMeABetterSite.com will create and manage your website to ensure your law firm shows up for new clients who are ready to sign. Visit BuildMeABetterSite.com for your free demo.
BuildMeABetterSite.com is a small business resource of 97.5 The Fanatic.
Cleaning and repairing a building's wastewater pump system is a job, but someone has to do it, and in Philadelphia, that someone is Pumpman Philly. In fact, Pumpman Philly is #1 in everything related to your building's wastewater system, including #2s, troubleshooting, emergency repairs, maintenance, and system replacement. Trust Pumpman Philly to keep the go in your building's flow. 24/7, 365. Call 833-559-PUMP. That's 833-559-PUMP. PumpmanPhilly.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station, home of the most entertaining sports talk in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia. It's time now for Cuz Radio.
What up, Cuz?
Deshaun Jackson gets a block. Are you kidding?
Talking with the Cuz.
Yo, Cuz, how you doing?
Stairs rips one into the night.
Stolen by the doctor. Yes, he's got it. Here he comes. Way rock the baby to sleep and slam dunk.
Look, Cuz, don't even try it, okay?
Now here's Anthony Gargano.
Why don't you get the hell out of here, Cuz?
What a good Tuesday morning, Philadelphia. I'm Andrew Salchunas. Anthony will be here momentarily. I-76, the Schuylkill never fails to disappoint. Just the other day, when I was coming in here for my Saturday show, I had to merge lanes. And have you noticed as the days go on, the lanes have started to split like further and further and further to the point where I think the road might just collapse? And you know what? As long as everybody's okay and safe, I actually kind of want that to happen at this point, because that road needs to be blown up anyway and start from scratch. And then we have issues like this happen. That road sucks. And yet we do nothing about it because we really can't do anything about it, right? Like, oh, they should expand into 3 lanes. Well, you can't. You got to blow up the side of a mountain to do that first. But it's not even the part of the mountain. It's before you even get to the curve. It's before you even get to Manayunk. The lanes are starting to split. Your tire's gonna pop. And if I even have a second to say something to the city, they're not gonna listen. Anyways, good morning. Hi, Connor. Thanks for sticking around a little bit.
Hey, Andy.
I appreciate it.
Listen, drive at 4 a.m. Everything's fine out there.
Yeah. And by the way, Dan, Anthony's here if you can go let him in.
There we go.
He doesn't have a key. So Dan Fritz floating today. If you can go let Anthony in, I would appreciate that. So Anthony's going to be up here any second now. And shocker, we're going to be talking about the Eagles today. So you're not missing much. We will be talking about the Eagles today, and we're going to do a fun little show where we kind of review the season. Because yesterday, one of the big deals that we kind of took away from was they went 14-3, and we wanted to celebrate it, but nobody's really in a great mood right now when it comes to these teams, or comes to the Eagles. Like, nobody's really in a great mood. People ignored the fact that Gardner Minshew lost 2 of those games. They went 14-3, and 2 of those 3 losses were Gardner Minshew. And I know the game was not pretty against the Giants by any means. They didn't really have to play, and they won. And Hurts, if he makes a couple of those throws, it's a totally different ball game. He's working through that sprained shoulder and had not played in a game in 3 weeks. So maybe he shook off some of that rust, which, by the way, I said after they lost to the Saints later on that night, and I ended up talking about it on the show the next day on January 2nd when I was in for Ant, I was saying how, you know what, I actually was okay with the fact that they lost to the Saints because that means Hurts needs to play Week 18, which makes him shake off some of this rust, because had the Eagles won against the Saints, Hurts would not play against the Giants, right? And yes, it's another week for him to get healthier, but now all of a sudden it would have been 5 weeks from the time he last played. Right, you would have had 4 weeks, obviously, with the Cowboys loss, Saints loss, the Giants game, the bye week. So it would have been 5 weeks. The 5th week is when he finally would have played. So I was actually okay with him needing to play on Sunday against the Giants. Obviously, they weren't going to do anything to risk him further injury, except for running a QB sneak on 3rd and 1, which I thought was stupid. But yeah, so they go 14-3, and we hardly talked about it. So we want to review the year, and Mr. Skookle is here. Anthony, you can come. I already got your headphones set up. So I'm going to turn off my mic. Connor, thank you.
Yeah, of course. No problem. Glad that Cuz is here. I know the Skookle can be rough. We'll get settled in, then we'll go to Andy. But yeah, Andy, you're right about...
I hate this freaking expressway.
It's the worst.
Hate it. I hate it. What is up with these trucks? All right. Fritz! Fritzy! Where you at, Fritzy? You're in the public works. Public pain in the ass. You're there. What are these trucks with the arrows, Fritzy? Is my man, Dan Fritz. Fritzy, what's the trucks with the arrows? They move slow, and they're pushing you to another lane.
Okay, so from what you're describing, it sounds like it's a slow-moving road crew, usually done for cleaning.
Okay. So but I didn't see him clean. There had to be 6 trucks.
Where they pretty much shoulder the road either side?
Yes, they're shoulder, and then some were stationary, and then others were moving. It was a legion of them.
So they picked 9:30 in the morning
to
clean the shoulders of the road.
I mean, why do that? Like, the whole Skookle, like, I'm on my Waze, and the Waze goes 9:36, all right? And then all of a sudden, it jumps up to 9:53.
9:53, 9:54, 9:55. Yeah. Sounds like the old school closing numbers.
Yeah. What? Yes.
I think only you and I get that joke.
Right. That's what they would do in the snow days in the morning. And they would do the numbers. And KYW would go 8:54, 8:55. And Philadelphia County, 8:22, 8:23, 8:24, 9:12, 9:17.
And in Burlington County with us, I think it was like 670. It might have been 674 or something. And you'd be sitting there waiting on you here. 671, 672, 673, 675, 676.
Well, no, wait a minute. That's what happened. They're opening 2 hours late. Why? I never understood.
There's no such thing 2 hours
There's
late.
the other thing. Why would you open school 2 hours late? I mean, stop. Just close the damn thing.
No such thing anymore.
Yeah, well, we don't have snow anymore. But so those trucks are for cleaning.
More than likely, they are cleaning the shoulders of the roadways.
Okay. I mean, listen, I'm all for that. God bless. But why do that in rush hour? You can't do that. Listen, if you need to do with daylight, I understand. My guess, you do it around 11, 10, 11, 12.
1, 2-ish.
Right? Now you don't do it in the morning. During morning commute.
No.
Mother, father. Thank you, Danny. Appreciate it, Fritzy. No, don't even turn it off. Turn it off. I'm in no mood. I'm in a bad mood.
What up, cuz?
And you know what the worst is? So the worst is my mood started, and I had an encounter today with a creep of all creeps.
Screw you, creepo.
Yeah, a creep. Freaking creep. Like, here's the thing. I love people. I really do. I love people. I enjoy encounters. You know, I meet people all the time. I love it. I'll sit and talk. I'll talk to anybody. Except this, this dude today was, first of all, I'm pouring a coffee. It's Wawa, all right? I'm pouring a coffee. And then the dude goes to me, I don't know what you're so happy about. This is, I don't know, 9 o'clock, whatever time it was. You know, it's the one on 322.
Yeah, I know that one well.
All right. And he goes, I don't know what you're so happy about. One and done. I go, what are you talking about?
Good morning to you too,
right?
sir.
Like, first of all, says nothing. No hello. How are you? Like, seriously, like, see, when people approach you like that, they deserve to get knocked out. Like, honestly, I mean, GP, guy deserves to get knocked out. But God forbid, then I missed the whole show. I'm locked up. The guy comes up, like, literally, and I go, what? I said, well, good morning. Yeah, I forgot I had something, sarcastic. And he went, yeah, they're done. They have no chance to win. And I don't know what you like about Sirianni. And he starts ripping Sirianni. Listen, when I tell you ripping Sirianni, and all right, listen, I understand the Hurts and the game plan with running Hurts, and I wasn't even going to try to explain that, the fact that one of the reasons why they want to run that offense is because it's so dangerous. I understand that, listen, it cost them, and it wound up in peril because in Chicago, he gets hurt. I get it. But there's a reason. There's a football reason why Sirianni wants to run that offense with Jalen Hurts. It's just dangerous. It really makes it difficult to stop their offense, and they showed it all year long. And so this dude says to me, well, he's an idiot. You're an idiot. I go, excuse me? Right? Yeah, well, they're going to lose. And you know what? I go, dude, they're not losing in the first round. I go, I'm telling you, they're not losing in the first round. They're not. And he goes, oh, so be it. He goes, even if they get to the Super Bowl, they're going to get rocked by the Bills. So now I started going, like, if they got to the Super Bowl, and this jerk off aside, all right, and you know who I'm talking about out there, you're probably listening.
I appreciate getting you riled up today.
Oh, my God.
Thanks for doing the pre-show work for me.
I wanted to just take his head. You know those coffees, the coffee dispensers, like those metal things?
Yeah.
I wanted to just get his head and start smashing his head into the metal thing. That's what I wanted to do.
Shove some of the stirs up his nose.
Dude, this guy was indignant. Indignant. And, I got to be polite. That's what happens when you get two kids. They take your balls from you because, God forbid, you can't do anything.
Well, no, and then you're also on TMZ. Philly radio host beats the crap out of a guy with a Wawa coffee dispenser.
No, the one at one thing, it's stationary.
Oh.
Smash his head against the thing. That's what I wanted to do. But this dude was so. First of all, I said, "Are you an Eagles fan?" I love the Birds. I go back to the Birds. Yeah. And I'm thinking, this guy's a fan. Like, this guy's they're one and done. They're not there. You overrated. Blah, 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 blah. Like, it was, first of all, like, it's my fault that I got Jalen Hurts hurt.
Right. Well, it sounds just like a lot of Sixers fans right now, too.
Right? No, this guy, listen.
So this guy's even worse.
Sixer fans are pessimistic. I get it, right? Some of them are. And it's more Sixer fatigue from the years going by. They'll be on board I hope, come the playoffs. Because, by the way, this team's making a run. I know they are.
Keep trusting the process.
I still trust it, Joe. Call me a sucker, but I still trust the process. I do. I don't care about some jerk off I met in Wawa this morning who ruined my whole day, and then the trucks that are working at 9:30 on a Tuesday morning. What sense does that make?
Yeah, I don't get the times of some of the schedules. Now, I guess that most offices, most work days are 9 to 5. So maybe they thought, all right, people are at
9:30? Well, could you wait till 10, 11? I mean, jeez.
And the best show ever would be in traffic.
Whatever, dude. I mean, my God. I mean, it had to be 9:15 because it said 9:36. I was at 9:20. I was passing University City. So, I don't know. They had to be already started.
What are we cleaning? Who's eating off the, am I eating off the Schuylkill?
I get debris. I get debris. I understand it, but, whatever. It's the dude that really rankles me. That's the guy that put me in a bad day. Now, what kind of Eagles fan are you? What happened? Let me ask you a question. God forbid the Eagles get to the Super Bowl and they have to play the Bills, and the Bills beat them. Are you going?
Is that even worthy of a God forbid? Then it gets to the Super Bowl. That's pretty awesome.
Well, that's my point.
Dude,
this guy goes.
If they lose 40-3,
so what? So they get to the Super Bowl, okay? Because when I go, dude, they're not losing they're not going to be one and done. They're not losing in that divisional round. They're not going to lose. I don't believe they lose to the Giants. I don't believe they lose to the Cowboys. I don't believe they're losing. And he's then he relents. Well, so what? So then even if they get to the Super Bowl, they're going to get beat by the Bills, crushed by the Bills. They stink like that. Oh, if they get to the Super Bowl,
they don't stink.
Seriously, if they get to the Super Bowl and lose to the Bills, I don't care if they get blown out. How's that a bad thing?
Yeah, it's not.
How is that? How is it bad, Junis?
I would come
What the hell's wrong with these people?
I would come in Monday morning upset that they lost the Super Bowl. Especially if they get up, I'm thinking of the Broncos Seahawks game where the Seahawks put up a 40 spot, and I think the Broncos only scored 8 points in that Super Bowl. I would probably be upset with. I imagine Jonathan Gannon had an awful game plan, and I'd say, please, Houston, take him from me. But that wouldn't kill me. I'd be bummed out they lost the Super Bowl. Obviously, I don't think anybody would not come in here emotionless the next day.
Yeah, I mean...
But I wouldn't say they stink.
Intellectually, would you be disappointed? Yeah, you'd be disappointed. But you also understand that, all right, it's the Bills' year, and whatever. Extrapolate. It's the Bills' year, the Bills are a great team, and then they win, and they win the Super Bowl. Okay. How's that bad?
No, it's not bad.
They get to the Super Bowl. I mean, I don't understand. It's like we can't get excited for the playoffs unless we have a guarantee they're going to win it.
Right.
What is that?
I don't know what that is,
There's no such thing. It doesn't work that way.
It's almost like the standards are Super Bowl or bust, once you get in the playoffs. I was cool with the Phillies making the playoffs, right? And they went on this magical run to the World Series. Now, it's a little bit different. They were the bottom seed in the playoffs for baseball, whereas the Eagles are the top seed in the NFC. So I guess expectations are a little bit different.
Okay, dude.
And standards are a little bit different.
If you are any kind of sportsman, you understand that the seeds are irrelevant. It's all about how you play, right? It's all about where you're at. I can make the argument that, once the Phillies get past the Cardinals, that they're more dangerous because the Eagles have a banged-up Hurts and a banged-up Lane Johnson.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. I mean, it's all about it's. Are they a good team heading in the right direction? Yes.
The future's bright, man.
I mean, I don't get. I don't
stink.
Where are we? Well, are we not sportsmen anymore? You understand? Like what? Like,
see, that guy would then make the case
to get to the Super Bowl is bad.
If that guy called in.
Lose.
If that guy called in, Ant, I know exactly what he's going to say.
What?
Well, it's not my fault. I'm more passionate than you are. Like, I guarantee you that's something that's going through his mind. I expect the most out of my teams. Like you said, I've been a fan since 1960.
Yeah, he was one of those 19. I don't know. What did he say? Something about Dick Vermeil and Wilbur Montgomery and whatever. Okay, well, he was maybe in his
was he my
late
dad?
50. Late 50.
Was it my dad?
I mean, I never met Mr. Tunis.
It was him.
This guy was a big guy.
No, not my dad. No.
Yeah, this guy was a big guy.
Was he wearing New Balances?
I didn't take notes.
Because that could have been my dad.
No, I don't know. I don't know. Miss Rhonda with the nice Flyers sweater.
That's nice.
Oh, the win by the Fly guys.
Yeah, how about it?
Shutout.
Torres got that team playing well.
They do. Connecting TK. Another goal.
Problem is they're winning too much now.
I know. I wanted that kid.
Yeah, I know. That's the problem.
I know. But at least the young core is playing well. Farabee scored. But beyond that, what in the world is the mindset? I need help this morning.
Well, that's why in the
is it bad? Like, God forbid, it's bad that they get to the Super Bowl. If God forbid they lose, we're coming up with these scenarios. No one can guarantee that they're going to win it. What happened to? Hey, let's go. Let's get psyched up. EAGLES. What happened to that?
We got 2 weeks to now sit on our most recent memories. That's a problem for some.
They're 14-3.
Yep.
They went 14-3. You're going to cause the death of me.
That or the Schuylkill. It's one of the two.
Yeah.
That's real garbage.
I mean, are you kidding me? That guy, what are you talking about? Ruining my day, dude.
Just got hit in the back of the head down at that gate down there.
Let's talk about NJ Diet for a second. Start the new year right with your resolution. You can make that resolution happen. You don't have to give up. No, because NJ Diet's going to be with you. NJ Diet has a scientific approach to losing weight. And in fact, it will ensure that you lose that fat quickly and safely. NJ Diet uses your hair and saliva samples along with bioenergetic scans to personalize natural solutions and supplements that balances your hormones, where the side effect is, you guessed it, weight loss. You're going to contractually shed 20 to 40 plus pounds in only 40 days. And then what NJ Diet does, that's not the end of it. They use DNA testing to help you keep it off. NJ Diet, all natural, no shots, no hormones, no surgery, no prepackaged foods that are an ew. Full supervision, provide every step of the way. You even get the doctor's personal email, phone number. Locations at King of Prussia, Cherry Hill, Newark, Delaware. Live online video consultations. Lose 20 to 40 plus pounds in just 40 days, and that's guaranteed. You call 855-5NJ-DIET. That's 855-5NJ-DIET. Or schedule your consult today at njdiet.com, njdiet.com, and lose the weight for good.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Nice win for the Flyers. Major Sal Chunas, and this update is brought to you by, Consolation Brands. Kick off the postseason celebration with Anthony Gargano and myself, the Chunas, Thursday, January 19th, live at the Manny Young Brew Pub, my old stomping grounds. Get game day ready with 97.5 The Fanatic, presented by Corona. Details on 97.5thefanatic.com. I guess that means that update was brought to us by Corona. Flyers were in Buffalo yesterday, taking on the Sabres, and they got a shutout, winning 4-0. So good win. How about 2 more points for Travis Konechny, who's been having a heck of a season. Joel Farabee with a nice goal yesterday, also an assist. So the Flyers now 16, 18, and 7.
20s, man.
Damn right. Behind, but they'll get there. Sixers back in action tonight when they host the Pistons. You'll be able to listen to that game live right here on The Fanatic. And, of course, we're talking about the Eagles, the top seeded Eagles in the NFC. Jeff McLean will join the show today at 12:30. This update is also brought to you by Jefferson Health. At Jefferson Health, there are more than 12,000 caregivers who push beyond what's possible. It is healthcare rooted in care. Jefferson Health, uncompromising care. I'm Andrew Salchunas, and this is 97.5 The Fanatic.
It's the Cuz, Anthony Gargano. Weekdays 10 to 2 on 97.5 The Fanatic.
You know, home shows provide homeowners the deepest discounts on remodeling projects. It's John Kincaid from my friends at Window Nation, and they're bringing home show savings right into your house. Schedule a free, no-obligation in-home demonstration today and lock in this incredible offer. Get 2 free windows for every 2 that you buy with no limit, plus pay no interest for 60 months. If you want to know what your home would look like with new Window Nation windows, use their free virtual visualizer. Go to windownation.com/home show. You upload a picture of your house and you try out hundreds of options online. Every size, every style, every color. You get design tips from the experts and you learn how Window Nation's trained installation specialists have helped over 150,000 homeowners. Home show savings last for just a limited time. So call Window Nation today at 866-90-NATION or go to windownation.com/home show. 2 free windows for every 2 you buy and no interest for 60 months. That's a full 5 years. 866-90-NATION or go to windownation.com/home show.
Hey guys, it's Andrew. Call your own plays during the NFL playoffs with FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge. It's America's #1 sports book. When you bet NFL same-game parlays from now through January 16th, all customers can get up to $100 in free bets when you place a total of $20 or more on NFL SGP or SGB Plus bets during the wild card round. NFL same-game parlays are the perfect way to combine your bets for a chance at a larger payday. You can build yours any way you want. Rushing totals, passing totals, and of course the anytime touchdown parlays. Build your own or choose SGPs pre-built for you in FanDuel's top-rated sportsbook app. New users can also get up to $100 in free bets, win or lose, when signing up with promo code FANATIC. That's promo code FANATIC. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NFL.
21 plus and present in PA. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable free bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Max free bet $100. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Brisket is back at Wawa, which means you could get a savory barbecue brisket sandwich or a creamy barbecue brisket mac and cheese bowl. Or you could get both on Wawa's new barbecue brisket mac and cheese panini. Your 2 favorites melted between perfectly toasty bread. It's the best of both worlds. A double whammy. A toast of 2 favorites. Brisket is back and better than ever at Wawa. Try it in a sandwich, bowl, or a panini. Gotta have a Wawa. New Year's are for fresh starts, and fresh starts call for fresh Wawa coffee. Like 100% Colombian, hazelnut, French vanilla, and now the limited edition maple coffee cake flavored coffee. Made fresh every morning. Hints of cinnamon and sweet maple syrup go perfectly with your go-to milk or creamer for a sweet start to your day. Start fresh with a maple coffee cake flavored coffee. Great mornings start at Wawa.
Every small business owner knows business can happen anytime, anywhere. The office, the warehouse, or on the road. And no matter where it takes you, there's one solution to help your business. Business complete connectivity. It's the largest, fastest, reliable network with advanced gig speed Wi-Fi and cyber threat protection in one solution. Get started with internet for just $49 a month. Plus, add Comcast Business Mobile and you can save up to 60% a year on your wireless bill. And ask how to get up to $1,000 in prepaid cards.
Flight 291 is now.
Yep, you're going places. And when you get there, be ready. Business, the complete connectivity solution from the company that powers more small businesses than any other provider. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 2/21/2023. Restrictions apply. Requires Eagle and autopay. New 50 megabits per second internet customers only. Equipment taxes and fees extra. After 12 months, regular rates apply. Gig internet required for gig Wi-Fi. Mobile savings compares pricing of top 3 carriers.
If you're living with diabetes and using insulin, you know the pain of pricking your fingers over and over again. By wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce the pain of pricking your fingers right away. If you're testing your blood sugar 4 or more times per day, injecting insulin 3 or more times per day, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetic Health Hotline today and learn about the latest CGM technology. A CGM can immediately reduce pain. It's accurate, easy to use, and helps you make better diabetes treatment decisions. And if you have Medicare, you can get a new CGM at little or no out-of-pocket cost. Plus, get free shipping shipping, and we'll bill your insurance company for you. Call now to receive your new continuous glucose monitor at little or no out-of-pocket cost.
Paid for by U.S. Medical Supply.
Call 800-611-6638. That's 800-611-6638. Again, 800-611-6638. That's 800-611-6638.
When you hire your local CertaPro Painters, you get the power of doing it right. Detailed project proposals, excellent customer service, and trusted professionals who get the job done on time and on budget. The power of experience. We're kings of the scaffolding and pros with the stucco. We've been there, done that. Get your project started at CertaPro.com and get the power of pro.
CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Home improvement contract registration numbers are available at CertaPro.com.
More of the Anthony Gargano Show now
on 97.5 The Fanatic.
$10 hour brought to you by Window Nation. Take advantage of Window Nation's 50% off sale on all style windows. Plus, make no down payment with no payments and no interest for 12 full months. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com.
Hello. Hello.
You're the man. That's Joe Z. My man, Joe Z. Judas! What the hell's wrong with these people, Jonas?
I don't know, man. He probably didn't like the Gregory Soto trade. Probably the same guy.
That I don't get. You're right. Oh, we got rid of Vierling. And
good locker room. Oh, dude, one of the responses was, a part of getting to the World Series is having a good locker room.
Hey, Brendan. No, I hear you.
That's one of the things I
mean,
heard.
It's ridiculous. You can get this. All due respect to Vierling, he does nothing. He's got a good glove.
Yeah,
that's it. That's it. He's a punchy Judy hitter who's got a good glove.
He's part of the daycare, bro.
The daycare. You know that. Listen, I thought it was nice, right? That the early part of the 2000s. We had these groups like the Wolf Pack and Padillas, Flotillas. Who's the other one? Who's the guy? Who's the catcher? Sal's Pals.
Sal's Pals. You had the Coast Guard.
Right. The Coast Guard.
That was a good one.
All right. Very creative. All right.
Howard's Homers.
Okay.
All had the Homer Simpson mask.
Yeah. Okay. But think about who they were honoring. The Wolf Pack.
Oh, okay.
Randy Wolf, who threw 68 miles an hour tops. All right?
Had a nice little bat with him, though. He could swing the stick a bit.
Okay. With that candy cane arm, did he deserve a fan crowd? Wolf Pack?
It was a good one, at least.
Then you had Vicente Padilla. He deserved something. Sal Fasano, who was a horrible backup catcher.
Yeah, he was terrible.
Well, by the way, what's up with us and backup catchers?
Yeah, people wanted Stubbs over JT for some time this year.
I know.
It was idiotic.
Stubbs, who is it? I mean, he's built more like a 70s middle infielder than a catcher.
But he's the team DJ. He plays Dance on My Own in the locker room.
All right, whatever. I mean, nice guy. Whatever. I just don't get it. I don't get where our sports kind of, what's the word for it? I don't
intelligence.
No, because we are I will go to the grave believing that we are a very sharp and intelligent fan base. I truly believe that. But sometimes we lose our path. Listen, it's natural, right? We lose our way as human beings all the time. And we got to get back on course. Because how else would we have this attitude? How, on what planet, on a Tuesday morning after the Eagles finish 14-3, do I get accosted by an Eagles? And I believe he was an Eagles fan. I know he was. I did not. He wasn't an undercover cowboy creep. None of that. This guy was an Eagles fan. And telling me one and done, and I'm an idiot, and Sirianni's an idiot, and everybody else. I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what he said. And that who cares if they get to the Super Bowl and lose to Buffalo? What in the world is happening?
Yeah, that's weird. Who cares if they get to the Super Bowl? That's, that guy must have been in his zone or something and went too far.
I don't know, dude. There's a lot of that. I've heard it before, too. I mean, listen, the reaction to the Phillies, dude, right? The reaction to the Phillies losing the World Series. Yeah, you know what?
Asinine.
Yeah, it was disappointing. I love Tyrone, but he was wet. He was out of his mind.
Yeah, as if it was the only time they're ever going to get to the World Series.
Listen, am I disappointed they lost there? Yeah, they were up 2-1. Well, once they're up 2-1, okay. Well, then they got no hit, and then, the Astros are a great team.
They're a dynasty.
Can you tell what you're going to do?
They get the D word.
Like, at some point, it's not about, I'm more passionate. It's about being unrealistic and understanding and still enjoying the ride. Like, the ride, if they get to the Super Bowl and they lose, I'm disappointed. But, man, I enjoyed the freaking ride. And I'm excited for next year.
Yeah, especially
I've
when...
enjoyed 14-3. I'm the idiot, and I think I am an idiot. I think the guy was right. Because I start the season by saying, I have no expectations. I just want to enjoy the season. And you know what? I enjoyed this season. I loved it. I enjoyed it. I did. They play good football. They're fun. They're all likable. Watching Jalen Hurts make a huge leap. I mean, really. I mean, I BG having a monster year.
Yeah.
I may,
Thank you,
I may bitch and moan about, Gannon every once in a while, but
he deserves it.
Listen, they set a record for sacks, so I still got good defensive play, good corner play. I mean, it was a good year. 14-3 was a great year.
Yeah, which is why yesterday was a weird show where, we came in and obviously the most recent game we could react to was the Giants game, and that's coming off of a Saints game that was ugly. But we kept on going back to it. Look, they went 14-3. They're the 1 seed. That's why every segment we kind of started with 14-3, top seed in the NFC. And it seems like that's not enough for a lot of people. It seems like they had to go in on fire. And I get it. I get the mindset of they didn't look great going into the playoffs. So that would lead to some concern for people. I understand it.
Well, that's what happens when your quarterback gets hurt.
Right.
I mean, and there's no other way around it. The quarterback got hurt. That sucks. But, that's the reality. So now we have to deal with the reality of the quarterback who's got a sore shoulder and Lane Johnson who, needs surgery. So that's it. That's the only dampening. But still, you go at it and you got hope.
You still got a lot of talent, man.
What's my point?
You got 51 other players.
By the way, seriously, I look at this team and I do believe. I remember Mikey Miss would say he doesn't care if you like the players or not, or like the team or not. And I never agreed with that. I always thought, because I know even from a media / you want to say, if I could wear my fan hat, all that stuff, from a humanity standpoint, I want to like who I'm rooting for. Organically, I want to root for a team. I want to like them. I want to think they're decent guys, right? This is a great group.
Yeah, but winning also cures things because nobody liked the Phillies.
Well,
people were ripping, personality-wise, constantly left and right.
Yeah.
That they weren't a lovable group. But they start winning games, and that cures everything.
I guess you're right. I guess winning, it's always about winning. I don't know, but I never thought we loved Bryce. I mean, we Schwarber. I mean, we didn't. I don't know. You and I didn't. Yeah.
People were out on JT for a while.
Right.
Part of it was he was struggling, but then also, the not able to play in Toronto stuff.
Right,
and then, look, he was a jerk by saying, just a little bit of money.
Right,
and it's
right.
like, yo, dude,
Yeah,
your little bit of money is my salary.
Right,
All right,
right,
come on
right.
now. But yeah, there's a lot of guys that people weren't in love with. Now you started getting. The beauty is of the Phillies last year, you got rid of two despicable human beings in Odubel Herrera and George Familia in the middle of the season. So that kind of, took off a little bit of the weight of the negative shoulders in Philadelphia with the fans.
mean, I thought that they were. I mean, what's not to Reese is a good dude, very charitable.
Yeah, but when they were losing, nobody liked them. You start winning, you like them.
No, that's true. No, listen, that's true, apt, true, wise, everything. You're right about that. I agree. I agree with that. But
I get what you're saying about this team. Like, this team is lovable. Like, there isn't
this Eagles team, I just
There's
look
not
at
a guy
it and go,
where I go, I don't like that dude.
No.
Like, I still have.
It's the opposite.
I still, with a burning passion, dislike Jalen Reagor. It has nothing to do with his play. I hated his attitude. Hated everything. I just disliked everything about that guy.
Yeah.
And him not being on the team has, made me even happier this season.
Yeah.
I actually enjoyed the fact that he was at the game yesterday, the
Right.
TCU game, and watched his team lose 65-7. Like, I was happy that he witnessed that.
Wow, you really do.
Yeah, I don't like that guy because he never took accountability. There was always these.
Yeah, I just thought he was immature. I mean,
he was,
and he sucked. I mean, that was the bottom line.
Doesn't help either.
I mean, he just was horrible. So, it is what it is. But to your point, yeah, I get
Jalen
it.
Hurts, lovable guy.
Go through the list, Jalen.
Yeah, and forget talent in terms of just their personality.
How about the offensive line?
Yeah, you love
Does
all
it get
of them.
better than that offensive line?
They're all. Look, they have a damn Christmas album.
AJ and Devontae.
Yeah, love them.
Goddard.
Love him.
Right? Miles Sanders. Look at him with DeMar Hamlin.
And he's matured. Remember back in the day, he was also, a lot with the social media stuff, and that happens with young players. I get it.
I don't know. I never really.
No, he was. Just all kinds of stuff. He was a guy that would battle on social media, and I get it. Like, you're a person, like so be it. But he's matured, and look how talented he is this year. But I do like him.
Well, listen, he's going to his contract year, right? Yeah. And he doesn't say boo. He just goes and plays.
Right? No, exactly. Love it.
So my only point to you, and like BG's the greatest.
Yeah, he's the best, man.
I mean, that defense, to a guy, every one of the, I don't know, I just find them, it's a fun team. The coaching staff is likable. I mean, look at Sirianni. How could you dislike Sirianni? Really?
Is Gannon likable? Forget coaching. Just in general. I'm not really, I don't.
No, I would agree. He's not. He's not a fuzzy character.
Yeah, I'm not having a beer with him.
No. Well, maybe you go to Houston and have a beer with him. Because
I have a beer with Jeff Stoughton.
Yeah, well, he's awesome.
I would love to have a beer with Jeff Stoughton.
Yeah, he's awesome. But my only point is, they check all the boxes of, hey, let's make a run. They're making a run. They're good. They're likable. What's not to go? EAGLES.
Yeah, instead you get the guy at the Wawa who's
no chance.
Miserable.
No chance. Nothing. It's a mystery. Like, why is this guy accosting me this morning?
Well, maybe it is. Look,
maybe because he had TCU. You should listen to me. I told him George all the way.
I wonder if part of it is. And you said it yesterday when you were watching the Peacock postgame show.
Right.
And the fact that the Eagles, according to their computer analysis, which should be our number one enemy, is, AI, not Allen Iverson, artificial intelligence, because they're out to get us. They hate Philadelphia. All robots hate Philadelphia, everything about it.
Yes, they'll be the when they take over.
We're the first one to go.
Yeah, it starts here.
Yeah, we're done, dude. We got no shot. And figures they're from Boston, a lot of these robots. So, look, they'll come over and take us down.
We're in Larry Bird jersey.
Yeah, exactly. But maybe that's what it is. Maybe people do feel that way. Maybe people feel lukewarm about their chances and they're already kind of setting themselves up. I don't know. I'm ready to get fired up.
You think people are lukewarm about their chance? Listen, I think we went over yesterday. We went over the playoffs. See, you got to buy. So you got to win 2 games to get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Right? So you're going to play either Dallas, the Giants. Most likely it's those teams that you're going to play. And, maybe Tampa. I guess Tampa could easily beat Dallas. and Minnesota could beat the Giants, and
And it's top 4 seeds.
Tampa comes here, and and we got Brady here. I actually
chop,
Tommy. It'll come true. The Chupacabra will actually come true. But when I think about it, I don't think they lose to the Cowboys, the Buccaneers, or the Giants at home in that first game. I don't think they lose. Again, we've talked about it. I said it a million times yesterday. The Niners game, yes, they could. They could win it, but they could lose that game. All right, so that's where I think that's a great football game. Like, that's two teams that are two heavyweights going at it. I think it's a great football game. And if they beat the Niners, then you're in the Super Bowl. So this guy who I met this morning has a problem. Hey, who cares? They're going to lose to the Bills. Well, if they win the next 2 games and we're going to the Super Bowl, that's a lot of fun over the next 6 weeks.
Yeah, it's a great time.
Right or wrong?
It's a great time. And it should be celebrated. They went 14-3.
Are we capable of doing that? Listen, as much as I don't subscribe to it, I understand Sixer fatigue. I do. I get it. I understand people's fatigue with the Sixers, and it has to do with getting out of the second round. I understand it. Now, I don't subscribe to it. I think they're really good. I think they're going to make a run. I think they've righted the ship, and I think it's going to be a fun second half of the season. And I do believe they're going to get out of the second round. Now, call me an optimist, whatever you want, fine. I also watch the rest of the league. And they're just like in the NFL, the NFC, the NBA, there are not these unbeatable teams. So that should not dampen your enthusiasm. But, all right, I get it. You got fatigue. There's no reason to have Eagle fatigue. Eagles, the season was amazing. I mean, I can't give you enough superlatives.
Yeah, I mean, everything.
14-3, and 2 of the 3 are with a backup quarterback.
Right.
For real?
Which is crazy that a lot of people ignore that.
So why do I have people coming up to me, rude, in Wawa?
I don't get the guy being a J.O. He must have been having a bad day. Maybe. I don't know. I don't get that part. But I do think there are a lot of people that are lukewarm going to the playoffs. And it's almost like they're doing the whole, the old Philadelphia thing of I'm setting myself up for them to lose, and I'm not going to be as disappointed. And if they win, I'll be more happy that way. We go through with this every single year in the playoffs with every single team, no matter what the record, 14-3, or you squeak in as the final wild card in baseball. We do that every year. I'm going to go in with a negative attitude, but if they win, I'm surprised.
I hate that.
Happy. So do I.
I really do hate that. You can concoct a million things. Well, they lose in the Super Bowl to the Bills. Somebody else told me, not in this way, in a much different way, and a much more relatable. I understood it, but I disagree with it. Dude says to me, yeah, he goes, he was kind of bummed out. And he goes, where the hell was I? Oh, at the practice of basketball. And he says, I think it's the Bills' year. This was last week.
All right.
With, the Hamlin situation. And I go, it might be the Bills' year. That's entirely possible. But why does that bum you out? Still, if the Eagles got to the Super Bowl and whatever, why does that bum you out?
What, is he one of these I'd rather them lose in the NFC Championship game guys?
I guess.
I remember somebody saying that. Pat, I remember they talked about it on the morning show. He got a tweet and he kind of agreed with the guy that they almost wanted the Phillies to lose in Game 6 and not force a Game 7.
Yeah, Pat needs to be shook up a little bit.
He would have been more emotional if they lost in Game 7.
I do. I
love
Pat. I love Egan. But some of his way he thinks, you follow? You do the wake and bake. Where does it wake
it's wake and cake now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is it wake and cake? Why'd you change it?
Because, we didn't want to keep the name in honor of Jamie.
Right.
And then
Bro.
Also, Pat doesn't do anything. He doesn't drink or smoke or anything, so it's just wake and cake. He likes cakes. He's a big fan of cake.
Maybe that's why he needs to just,
And I'm a fan of cake too. Just, different kind of cake.
All right. That's good. I like it. I like it.
I don't know if you know the Rihanna song. I think it's Rihanna.
Yeah.
Cake.
Yeah. I
All
like
about the cake.
Yeah.
I'm a cake man.
Me too.
Yeah. It's changed over the years.
Yeah.
I had a different set of needs when I was younger. Now,
Right. Let's do. I partake.
It's all about the cake.
I partake the cake. I just don't. The attitude. All right. So let's have this discussion. We will also at some point today begin our review of the season. As if
Sucked.
you needed.
They were terrible this year.
As if you needed more reason not to be a-holes.
They're a bunch of bums. They lucked into it.
We're going to go through the season and relive the magic. And indeed, it was
What magic? What magic?
We have the vault.
Sucked. Hurts the bum. Don't pay them.
It is a truism that when you have a family, you have children and a family, you still have an animal. You have an animal instinct to protect your family. So that grows. But you also employ other tactics. Like, for instance, they take your balls. Like, we're going to be fun about it. You follow Tunis. Like, in the Wawa today, I really wanted to. I haven't wanted to crack somebody in a while, but I wanted to crack the guy. Just because the way he approached me.
I think you're an a-hole.
And I actually was starting to feel it. Like, I wanted to swing.
Pump your ass!
I wanted to crack him. But, then that's just a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? But if I have kids, he gets cracked. And then, so be it. I get fired, it doesn't matter. If I didn't have kids, I would be somewhere else anyway. Don't you think?
Yeah, I could see it.
Might be under a bridge. Wild card weekend starts Saturday. Super wild card weekend. And you got to be ready for it with the BetParx app. Yes, the BetParx sports and casino app. The Sportsbook app is amazing. I mean, all the stuff that they have to offer, right? So you're looking at the games and you have all the props that you want. You got any which way. You want to parlay them. You want a same game parlay them. There's a million different ways to play. This is so much fun, too. I mean, let's face it. You want to do like big odds and touchdowns. Like how many touchdowns will you pick your player. Will, Elijah Mitchell score 2 touchdowns like he did the other day? Well, that'll get you like plus 1,200. There's a million different ways to play the game. So much fun on the BetParx app. Check it out, download. You have to be ready, man. Ready for the playoffs. And you could do so. But don't forget, you got tonight, Sixers Pistons. You could do that tonight. I think it's another maxi night I'm feeling. I'm feeling another maxi night tonight. I hit it Friday. I'm going to say it again against the Pistons. So check out the BetParx app. You got to be in PA or New Jersey. Go to betparx.com for all the details. You get up to $750 in sportsbook credit if your first bet's not a winner. You got to be in PA or New Jersey. You got to be 21. Gambling problem? Please call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Nice win for the Flyers. Amanda Salchunas, and this update is brought to you by PhillySportsTrips.com. Reserve your seat on their charter plane to Arizona with your 100% fully refundable deposit of $4.99, so you'll have your seat locked and loaded if the Birds go to the big game. PhillySportsTrips.com. Flyers beat the Sabres yesterday 4-0. Winners of now 5 out of the last 6 games. So the Flyers season looking up. They're now just 2 games under 500. The Eagles getting set for, well, their divisional round matchup. They got the bye week first. We'll find out who they're playing after Super Wild Card Weekend coming up this weekend. So we're looking forward to that. Jeff McLean will join the show coming up at 12:30. Sixers were off yesterday, back in action tonight when they host the Pistons. You'll be able to listen to tonight's game live right here on The Fanatic. This update is also brought to you by Wawa. Wawa's bringing brisket back in a big way. Get the slow-cooked perfection on a sandwich. Brisket just got better at Wawa. I'm Andrew Salchunas, and this is 97.5 The Fanatic.
It's the Anthony Gargano Show on 97.5 The Fanatic.
And now a steal by Maxey. Maxey into the lane. Maxey with a two-hand slam.
Sixers, Pistons, tonight at 7 on your home for 76ers basketball. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Sixers basketball is brought to you by Corona, proud sponsor of the Philadelphia 76ers.
Hey, I'm Andy. I started Harry's because I was frustrated with buying razors at the drugstore. And when I say frustrated, I mean like so upset I called my friend Jeff.
Hello, this is Jeff.
Jeff, I'm at the store, and I don't get why these razors
cost so much?
Yeah, and do they need to look like robots?
Oh, dude, I know. And it's so frustrating how expensive they are.
Getting ripped off sucks.
We gotta do something about this.
Why don't we make our own high-quality razors at much better prices?
Actually, I heard about this German razor factory that makes some really high-quality blades.
Really? Okay, maybe that's not exactly how it went. But we did buy that German factory, where we're turning high-quality steel into super sharp blades for a smooth shave at a great price. Seriously, as low as $2 per cartridge. Over the past 10 years, 20 million people have tried Harry's. Join them and get your starter set now. That's a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, and shave gel, all for just $3 with free shipping, backed by our quality guarantee. If you don't like it, it's on us. Just go to harrys.com now and enter code SMOOTH at checkout. That's harrys.com, code SMOOTH.
Every small business owner knows business can happen anytime, anywhere. The office, the warehouse, or on the road. And no matter where it takes you, there's one solution to help your business thrive. Comcast Business Complete Connectivity. It's the largest, fastest, reliable network with advanced gig speed Wi-Fi and cyber threat protection in one solution. Get started with internet for just $49 a month. Plus, add Comcast Business Mobile and you can save up to 60% a year on your wireless bill. And ask how to get up to $1,000 in prepaid cards.
Flight 291 is down.
Yep, you're going places. And when you get there, be ready to do business. The complete connectivity solution from the company that powers more small businesses than any other provider. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 2/21/2023. Restrictions apply. Requires Eagle Bill and AutoPay. New 50 megabits per second internet customers only. Equipment taxes and fees extra. After 12 months, regular rates apply. Gig internet required for gig Wi-Fi. Mobile savings compares pricing of top 3 carriers.
There is no doubt about it. Philadelphia sports fans bleed for their teams, and they bleed for each other, too. Every time they donate plasma at CSL Plasma Donation Centers. In fact, thousands of Philadelphia area residents have helped people they don't even know by donating plasma at a CSL Plasma Donation Center. Your plasma donations have helped create therapies for patients living with rare and serious diseases and have enabled us to provide medicines and vaccines to people in over 100 countries around the world. Interested in other ways you can partner with CSL to improve patients' quality of life? Ask about participating in one of our clinical trials or learn more at cslbearingtrials.com. We're proud to be part of this community, proud of our hometown teams, and the people who rally around them and each other. We look forward to meeting you and thanking you in person at events around the city. For all that you do, Philadelphia, we thank you, because together, we're saving lives.
If you're living with diabetes and using insulin, you know the pain of pricking your fingers over and over again. By wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce the pain of pricking your fingers right away. If you're testing your blood sugar 4 or more times per day, injecting insulin 3 or more times per day, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetic Health Hotline today and learn about the latest CGM technology. A CGM can immediately reduce pain. It's accurate, easy to use, and helps you make better diabetes treatment decisions. And if you have Medicare, you can get a new CGM at little or no out-of-pocket cost. Plus, get free shipping, and we'll bill your insurance company for you. Call now to receive your new continuous glucose monitor at little or no out-of-pocket cost.
Paid for by U.S. Medical Supply.
Call 800-611-6638. That's 800-611-6638. Again, 800-611-6638. That's 800-611-6638.
Hi, it's John Kincaid for Landis Block and Concrete. We had a vision, we had a plan, and Landis Block helped us execute it. They've got a beautiful showroom in Souderton, Pennsylvania. We chose the most gorgeous materials, and we have now created our beautiful own jaw-dropping outdoor paradise. You know you want one. You know you've got a plan in your head. Go visit landisbc.com and get some ideas in their beautiful gallery. Then call them. Landis Block, jaw-dropping outdoor paradises.
Hey, it's Cuz. Start this new year off right. Lose that weight with NJ Diet. Schedule your consult at njdiet.com. You'll shed 20 to 40 plus pounds in only 40 days. Contractually guaranteed. NJ Diet, all natural. No shots, no hormones, no surgery, no prepackaged foods. Ew. Locations: Cherry Hill, King of Prussia, Newark, Delaware. Live online video consultations from your house. Call 855-5NJ-DIET or go to njdiet.com. That's njdiet.com and lose the weight for good.
Before you place your bets on this weekend's games, get free picks from the experts at freewinners.net. Simply text the word free to 313-GET-INFO for your free picks. That's the word free to 313-GET-INFO.
Stop into your neighborhood AAA Car Care Center for a winterization package and get a tire rotation, standard oil change, new windshield wipers, and a fluid check. All for just $64.99. Only at AAA Car Care Centers. See store for details.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station, home of the most entertaining sports talk in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
All right, 11 a.m. on this beautiful Tuesday morning across the Delaware Valley. Cuz Radio with the tune in. Dude, I was just, I always do I look at the, are you a big weather app person? You are, like me, right? You always look at it.
Not as frequently as you. It's more so like if something's like the holidays, right? Like I want to see, did we have a white Christmas coming up? Or if I'm about to go on vacation, something like that.
Yeah. You know what's nuts? I look, over the 10 days, and it's all going to be 40s and 50s, some 50s in there too.
Yeah, I saw that after the 60-degree days. Remember we had those random 60-degree days last weekend, and I was kind of, I knew it was going to get cold, but it's moderate.
It's been warmer than usual. I mean, it's not winter. Right? I mean, listen,
it's not.
If it's in the mid-40s, that ain't winter. Like we used to be, 20s, 30s, right? Like, isn't that how it used to be?
Yeah, and I remember, I think we talked to T. Will about it, who said it's going to be a rough February.
Oh, is that it?
So maybe. Yeah, that might be when the cold comes. We'll find out.
All right.
We'll see.
So the game last night, did you stay with it?
No. I turned
You were out early?
No, I turned it off, yeah.
Did you make it through the first half?
I got out when it was 21-7, and I knew.
Oh, you left early.
I knew like there was nothing. I went. I forget what we ended up watching something. It was 21-7, and I would look at my phone to see if TCU started coming back.
Right.
And all of a sudden it's 28-7.
They had no
35-7. I'm glad I got out of here.
It was amazing, right? So that team, and again, styles make fights, right? Like, so TCU's able to move the ball against Michigan, but that defense, they collapsed the line.
Yeah.
Duggan had no time whatsoever. No time. And even when he did, like, he was skittish, man. It was amazing how they just made, wow, Kirby Smart just unleashed hell. And that was my point about TCU. Now, listen, they shove it over my gigi because they beat Michigan. The problem is that they couldn't stop anybody. Like when you go up, and look, the Big 12's not exactly, the Ivies, right? Like that's a legitimate league, but they just can't match up with those SEC behemoths,
right? And like you saw that clearly last night.
Like Bowers, who's going to be a star on Sundays. I mean, he's already think about this. He's got another year of college next year. and he's unstoppable. He's a tight end. I had to answer him, like, dude, watch this.
Yeah.
Because at some point, I keep thinking, well, maybe Ant could be more tight end. Because he's got a shot to be at 6'5". He's got that shot, and he's big. And I go, dude, look, watch this kid. Watch it. He's a beast. Great hands, runs great route. He's the next great tight end, Bowers. And they had no answer. Like they play, you know, that defense where it really is. It's the 3-5-3 defense where you're able to kind of really. You're supposed to take away the run. I mean, they ran all day.
Yeah,
they ran at will
no shot.
because they couldn't stand. They couldn't hold up to that line.
It was ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
Nice story.
Yeah, but it came crashing down.
Yeah, it did.
That's why the true playoffs, when they do the expanded playoffs,
You'll get the cream of the crop one, too.
yeah, because you got to win multiple playoff games. You just can't win a thriller against Michigan. And if Michigan, McCarthy had a day against them. This kid, say whatever you want about it. He's 25 years old.
Right.
All right? And he's a great story because he's a walk-on and he's the last of the COVID kids. But he's got every bit of poise. Bennett's got everything.
Yeah.
And, he'll be a really good backup quarterback.
Yeah.
Or, like, it was funny because my boy Herbie was talking about this. If you get him in, like, a Shanahan system like Purdy, he could actually flourish. Because he's small, man. He's like 5'11", So, he's an athlete, but he's small. But you're going to have to, he's got to be on the right team that can protect him and, that sort of thing. You could play. He's one of those really good college players. But it's funny, you bailed, huh?
Yeah, I mean, that game was nothing. It's not worth my time. It was one of the more. It sucks, right? Because national championship game, it's hyped up, right?
Yeah.
And then it just.
I love college
terrible.
football, man.
It sucks when it's a big game, right? Whether it's regular season matchup or a playoff game or a championship game, and then it just craps the bed.
Yeah.
It makes me think of the Patriots-Rams Super Bowl from a couple years ago, where it was 17-9. Was that how many points were even scored, or was it 13-3? Remember how ugly that Super Bowl was? McVay's first Super Bowl appearance with Goff. He scored 3 points or something like that.
Oh my God,
that
was
sucked.
horrible.
That's the Super Bowl, right?
Yes.
Look, I know not every game's gonna be great, but when it's the Super Bowl,
yeah,
and I know not every Super Bowl is gonna be 28-3. Patriots Falcons. It's not gonna be 41-33 every single time.
Yeah, that was ugly, man.
That was an ugly one. So it sucks when you're hyped up. A game's hyped up and craps the bed like that.
Yeah. All right, let's get to the phone lines, and then we get the vault, and then we'll talk to all of our friends. Let's go to Nicky. You're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Nick,
what's going on, guys?
Hey, Nick, how you doing, buddy?
Good. I want to talk about that guy that approached you in Wawa.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of negativity out there, and you're right.
So you sense it too?
Oh, it's all over, and I think I got an answer for it. Everybody has a podcast nowadays. Everybody has a blue check mark. Everybody's an expert, right? So when Sirianni was hired, that first press conference, there was a large majority of the fan base that were ready to part ways with him right after that. And then you look at Hurts after last year, all of us, including myself, I know you guys were kind of questioning.
Yeah, well, of course. Guy. Yeah, you had to question because you didn't show anything. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But what I'm saying is, we were wrong. We admit it. And I think there's a lot of people out there that have trouble doing that, especially in today's world where they're just negative. And if they're not right, they hold a grudge against it. So instead of, like back in the day, as a Philadelphia sports fan, it was all about, like you were talking about family. Like we were all in one cause. You know what I mean? We're trying to win it all. And I think nowadays a lot of people have their own personal agendas. Like if they put out there on some podcast or Twitter, feed that they were, that they thought Sirianni should be fired after year one or Hurts isn't the guy. Now they look like fools because the Eagles are 14-3 and have a chance to go to the Super Bowl. So I think there's a lot of that plays into this. When you have people like approach you, and I know it. I have friends that have been miserable all year, and those are the
really?
People, yeah, they've been miserable all year, and those are the people that were like, in the offseason, we should have traded for this guy, get rid of Hurts, we should have got Watson, we should have, so I think there's a lot of that that's like, me. I was right. I told you so.
Well, I will say this. One of societal's ills right now, Nikki, is the disease of me.
Yeah.
That's a truism. Everybody's an I, me. And that's a problem. Like that's one of our reasons why we can't come together, whether it's to run a country or whether it's an everyday life, is because we can't compromise. We can't look outside of ourselves, our own, we can't understand what anybody else is saying. It's terrible. It really is.
It is. And, and I think positive Eagles fans are being – anybody that comes in here in the divisional round, whether it's the Giants, the Cowboys, the Seahawks, we should beat.
Yep.
And even if Hurts is still a little rusty and a little banged up, we should still win that game. Now, like we're saying, in the championship game, if it's the 49ers, that's going to be a tough game. But we're at home. And,
right. I might say you can't win. Yeah. It's just a tough game. I mean, you could lose, it's a coin flip or however you want to make it. Eagles are a 2-point favorite. Like, that's kind of what it would be.
I mean, because I literally had people last week just out of their mind telling me if we would have lost on Sunday, they don't even care if we went to the Super Bowl, meaning like, if we didn't have home field.
Yeah, I don't get that. What's wrong with that? I don't know. I don't know. That's worrisome.
Yeah, I don't know. Everybody should just enjoy the ride here. We got a shot. 2 games. We're in the Super Bowl. The AFC is strong. They got strong quarterbacks. There's no doubt about it. But we got a shot to go and, try to.
Right, like if you're going to face the Bills, you're not facing the Bills until the Super Bowl. So,
and by the way, that would be one of the most epic Super Bowls with the 2 fan bases, Buffalo and Philadelphia. Can you imagine them in Arizona? I mean, it's going to be insane.
Oh my God, it'd be awesome. It really would. I agree with you.
You talk about the country. Our country may never recover from that.
Awesome. Good, Nicky. Great call, man. Thanks,
right,
my
boys.
brother.
All right, boys.
See you later, buddy. It's 11:11. Time to open the vault.
When we began opening this vault nearly 2 hours ago, we had no real idea what we'd find inside. As it turns out, we haven't found very much.
Well, so it's going to be a typical vault for the next couple of weeks where I have some stuff from, all over the world, this day in history, you name it. But we're also going to do a little bit of what we did during the Phillies playoffs, where we played moments from the past playoff memories in the Phillies franchise history. We'll be doing that with the Eagles as well. So I'm going to have all kinds of random stuff, right? Like I'll have, obviously, at some point, we'll get to the Super Bowl, right? And Super Bowl 52, and we'll get some of the highlights from that one.
I love this because, we did this with the Phillies, and I love the runs of the past.
Yeah.
We start in order.
But some are going to be totally random. Like the first one I'm going to play from you is totally random. I'm going to go back to, and it's crazy how much football has changed and how the seasons have changed, right? You used to have 6 preseason games, right? Was it 6?
Yeah.
But the playoffs in this one started on New Year's Eve. So we're going back to 1989. Think about that for a second. The playoffs began New Year's Eve. And it's just different how so much has changed. We're now college football is New Year's Eve, right?
Yeah, no, there was it was up in the 2000s. There was a New Year's Eve day game. I think it was Eagles.
Oh wow, yeah, you're right. 2000
Buccaneers.
Eagles Bucks was December 31st.
Sean King. I remember at the game it was the vet.
So it's crazy how much things have changed nowadays.
I'm sorry to go because that day I'm like Rain Man. That day.
Beauty of the vault.
Lindros came back to town with the Rangers.
Wow, really?
And it was a Saturday afternoon. Flyers, Rangers.
What was the weather?
And then we walked over. What's that?
The
weather was freezing.
Okay.
And then walked over I watched the period, and then went and watched The Eagles and Buccaneers. I was with Glenn.
That's
Glenn
awesome.
and Holly Joe, our producer.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's a good story. This one, 1989, December 31st. The Eagles lost to the Rams that day 21-7. So you go, why are you playing this then? Well, it's just an excuse because the guys on the call for that game were Madden and Summerall. So you get to hear their voices a couple of times in the vault today. So here's the TV-produced open by Summerall.
While a new year starts tomorrow, for the Rams, a new season starts today. A season long on pressure and very short on tomorrow. The Philadelphia Eagles spent their season cultivating a surly image that struck fear and pain in the souls of opposing quarterbacks. And while the formula has proven successful, their playoff hopes ride with the performance of Randall Cunningham as the Eagles try to fulfill their long-awaited promise. An eerie setting underscored a sorry ending to the Eagles' playoff drive last season, a shattered dream the Rams know all too well.
Dude,
How awesome is that?
I want to jump through my skin. That's the greatest. An eerie setting underscored the Eagles. That was the Fog Bowl.
So,
He was talking about.
Yeah, that's right. So, yeah, it's a very random playoff where
That's
they
Summerall,
lost,
wow.
but Summerall. So, after the TV
Very
produced...
scary. How about that?
That was great.
Torturing opposing quarterbacks.
After the produced open, of course, here's Summerall Madden.
Drive to the Super Bowl begins at Veterans Stadium right now, and rain is in the forecast. Not much wind. That's the good news. Good afternoon. I'm Pat Summerall here with John Madden. When you think about the Los Angeles Rams, you think of the great year that Jim Everett had. You think of their outstanding offensive line. But Everett has a lot of weapons with which to work.
Well, he does. And he has a lot of speed on the outside, and that's the thing that worries the Eagles and Buddy Ryan. And Buddy Ryan's answer to everything, of course, is you do it with your pass rush. You rush your quarterback. You knock him around. Now, that is going to be the matchup. The Ram offensive line against the Eagle defensive line. And I think for the Rams, they aren't going to block that group every time, but it's what happens when they don't block them. If they can come up and just take a sack now and then, just take a hurry, but don't throw the interception, don't have the turnover, that's going to be big because the Eagles lead the league in turnovers with 56.
Wow.
It's great hearing them together.
Oh, my God, yeah.
It's absolutely great hearing them together. So
rain's in the forecast, no wind.
So I don't have any highlights from that one, but I do have highlights for this next one. Now, I will ask you, would you like to hear the two of them one more time before I play the highlights?
Yeah.
So this is...
You have to ask?
This is the 92-93 season. So they beat the Saints in the wild card round.
Oh, so you don't have any of the game. You didn't go into the Eagles-Redskins?
No. Well, it was Eagles-Rams that year.
Sorry, Eagles-Rams.
No, I don't have
following year, Eagles-Washington.
Yes, that is the following year. You're right, Rain Man. But we didn't have highlights for that one. But I got highlights for the next couple ones. There's only so much that the vault can hold. So this one, 92.
They played a two-deep zone against Randall in the rain, and he couldn't do anything.
This one, lunatic. But this is the stuff we remember. I don't remember half of Christy's family's names, but I know that,
Yes.
I know jersey numbers.
Yes.
All right, so 92 playoffs. This was January 3rd, 1993. Here's the open from Madden and Summerall.
Wow, listen to that. I like the big orchestral opening.
And the Superdome in New Orleans is rumbling and rocking at the moment as the Saints entertain the Eagles in the NFC wild card game. Good afternoon. I'm Pat Summerall here with John Madden. You think of these two teams, you think about defense, and what do their respective offenses have to do to stop them?
Well, the one thing that you just can't sit there and take it, and I think if the offense that comes up is the offense that's going to win this game. Now, Randall Cunningham, we're talking to Richard Kotite last night and Randall Cunningham, and he says it's important that he gets into a rhythm, that he gets off to a good start, that he has guys open, and that they can get a little running game going. On the other side, I think it's going to fall on Bobby Hebert, too, because protection is the thing anytime you play against the Eagles. So Bobby Hebert is going to have to get protection, and the other thing, he's going to have to help his protection by getting rid of the ball quickly.
But, John, this is the playoffs, and the immediate thing you think about is the finality of it all. It could be over after this.
Yeah, you can't beat that. I mean, that's what makes this so great, that there's 12 teams go into the playoffs, 11 of them are going to lose their last game this year. And, of course, that 12th team is going to win the Super Bowl. So these teams know you win, you go on, you lose, you go home, it's all over. And that makes for good football.
Wow. And I love how he just loved football, man.
He does.
He loved football.
That's why he's
so
the best.
Much. Yeah. All right, so one of the things they talked about in that open was Cunningham, Randall getting into a groove, into a rhythm, and having guys open. How about 2 tutties for Fred Barnett in this game?
Walker is the deep back. Sherman in front of him. They didn't have the play. Couldn't hear it because of the noise, so they checked with Cunningham. He's going for a bunch. Fred Barnett. Touchdown. That'll quiet him down from 57 yards away. 3rd and 10. They might be just a little far for a field goal if they don't pick up a few yards here. Cunningham going deep. Touchdown. Fred Barnett, a diving catch, spectacular catch. From 35 yards away. They had him covered.
And he's the type of guy that can do that. I've always said Fred Barnett is one of the best deep pass receivers in football. He can do it against man. He can do it against zone. He can do it against double coverage.
Dude, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? What stood out there?
What?
So Summerall's talking about it's 3rd and 10. First of all, think about football and how prehistoric those games were. So it's 3rd and 10. Now, he said it's a little far out of field goal range.
Yeah.
They were at the 35-yard line. That's a 52-yard field goal.
That's Justin Tucker with his eyes closed.
You know, that like nowadays, a 50-yard field goal is nothing.
And also, nowadays, 3rd and 10 doesn't mean they're going for the sticks.
No.
Hey, get me 5-6 yards.
Yeah, because I'm going to go for it.
I might go for it on 4th down.
Right. It was funny because I thought the same thing. I'm going, well, first of all, if you were trying to go get points, you don't take a shot at the end zone. Yeah, you might want to try to pick up 4 or 5 yards just to make your field goal. If you're worried about your kicker, to get your field goal that much easier, right?
Right.
Or like you said today, you're going to run a play. They try to go for it on 4th and 4.
Right. You're thinking about the next play, and not even just this 3rd and 10. All right. Last thing. So this day in history, yesterday was a monumental day. It was the introduction of the iPhone. It wasn't released, but Steve Jobs made the introduction that the iPhone was going to come to a store near you. Today, a big day. For a lot of people, I know I'm not the biggest fan, and that may offend some people, like the Bruce Springsteen fan that I spoke to the other day via email. But The Sopranos debuted today in 1999. And I know I'm not the biggest fan. Here's the intro. I know I'm not the biggest Sopranos guy. We've talked about this. I didn't make it through the show. But I respect the greatness because it changed television at the time.
What do you say, Sopranos?
Sopranos? Okay. Well, yeah, Sopranos. So The Sopranos debuted today in 1999. So here's your intro as I talk about it a little bit.
One of the greatest intros ever.
It is a great intro. And the scenery.
Driving,
yeah,
first
with
of
the
all,
cigar.
Driving. It's incredible. It's an incredible cinematic thing because you're driving. You're watching him drive in his SUV over the Jersey Turnpike, right? He's driving down the Jersey Turnpike. And then you see that exit 13, like right around Newark.
Yeah.
Right? And then he gets off. And then you see him drive through Newark, right? And then into the suburbs where he is now, it has now brought them.
Right, exactly. So I might as well play one scene. And it's part of the reason why the show was ruined for me.
What's this? What's this? It's the jacket. The jacket. The jacket. I took off Rocco DeMeo. Oh, yeah. Guy had the toughest reputation in Essex County, but he never came back after I got through with him.
He later died of Alzheimer's.
Oh, yeah?
Try
it. It's your jacket. You love this jacket. You were my kid brother. You would have killed for this jacket. Silk lining, fine Corinthian leather. Nobody believed with my size I could carry this jacket. But with the belt, it was like Rommel. It's a nice jacket.
Thank you, Jason.
Yeah, well, it's funny
he
how
loved the show.
It's funny how things like you're out on certain things. You got to talk about the Springsteen dude.
Oh yeah, my man Sheldon.
That's another guy's out of line. 610
I responded.
610-632-0975.
Cordial conversation. As an open-minded millennial.
Let's get back to the phone lines. He might have been the same guy this morning. It might have been, what's his name, Sheldon?
Yes.
Might have been Sheldon. All right, 610-632-0975 is how you get us. And I need to feel like, what are you guys, are you sensing this whole thing around it? Why isn't it more of a party? Why haven't we begun the party yet? When will we begin the party? The chance? When's that happening? Because I want it. I miss it. It's Cuz Radio with the Tunas right here, 97.5 The Fanatic.
This is Andrew Salchunas. NFL Wild Card Weekend is here, and the easiest way to get into the playoffs is with FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge. It's America's #1 sports book. New customers join today to get started with $150 in free bets guaranteed. That's awesome. When you place your $5 bet, that's all you got to do. Bet $5, you get $150. Just sign up with promo code FANATIC. FanDuel is all of your favorite bets from the money line to point spreads, player props, you name it. And, of course, you can combine those bets for a chance at a bigger payout with the same-game parlay plus, which means you can bet, props from other games into one parlay. It's great. I love it. It's all in an app that's safe, secure. It's super easy to use. Football fans, don't miss out. Place your first $5 bet to get $150 in free bets, win or lose, with promo code FANATIC. Perfect for the playoffs. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NFL. You got to be 21 plus and present in PA. First online real money wager, only $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued is not withdrawable. Free bets expires in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Sixers tonight. I'm Andrew Salchunas, and this update is brought to you by Corona. Kick off the postseason celebration with Anthony Gargano and the Chunas next Thursday, January 19th, live at the Manny Young Brew Pub. Get game day ready with 97.5 The Fanatic, presented by Corona. Details on 97.5thefanatic.com. Sixers off yesterday. They're back in action tonight when they host the Pistons. Tips off at 7 o'clock, and you can listen live right here on The Fanatic. The Flyers with a nice win over the Sabres yesterday, winning 4-0, so a shutout win for the Flyers. They're now winners of 5 out of the last 6. And, of course, we're talking Birds here on The Fanatic as they get set for the divisional round because they have a bye week during Super Wild Card Weekend. We'll find out who they're playing after this weekend's slate of games. Jeff McLean will join the show coming up at 12:30. This update is also brought to you by Jefferson Health. At Jefferson Health, there are more than 12,000 caregivers who push beyond what's possible. It is healthcare rooted in care. Jefferson Health, that is uncompromising care. I'm Andrew Salchunas, and this is 97.5 The Fanatic.
Anthony Gargano, weekdays 10 to 2 on 97.5 The Fanatic. The NFL playoffs are set. The Birds have their sights on another Super 97.5 The Fanatic's All-Star Day Playoff Preview Edition. Listen all day. All of the Fanatics hosts together and NFL experts and insiders all day. Talking Birds, playoffs, and Super Bowl. 97.5 The Fanatic's All-Star Day Playoff Preview Edition tomorrow.
Presented by the BetParks Casino and Sportsbook app, where odds, slots, bets, and games all come together in perfect harmony right in your pocket. Download now at betparks.com.
And 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
With the start of the new year, BetRivers Online Sportsbook is your home for all the latest lines, odds, and boosts. Whether you're a football, hockey, or basketball fan, BetRivers has you covered. Join BetRivers every week for new promotions like their Tuesday hockey goal insurance, Sunday football parlay insurance, and more. Now, coming up on Saturday, I like San Francisco -10 versus Seattle, followed by Jacksonville +1 versus L.A. On Sunday, I like Buffalo -10.5 and New York +3 versus Minnesota. So many great playoff games coming up. Head to BetRivers.com or download the BetRivers app today. It's a whole new game. You must be 21 or older and in Pennsylvania to play, void where prohibited. Terms and conditions apply. Presented by Rivers Casino Pittsburgh. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Have you heard about the new ED treatment that's sending shockwaves through the medical community? Focused Shockwave Therapy from Forge Medical Group uses pulses of energy that travel faster than the speed of sound to penetrate deep inside your body and activate the growth of new blood vessels and tissue on a cellular level. It's safe, simple, and painless, with no drugs, no surgery, no injections, and no side effects. Forge Medical Group, Philadelphia's leading provider of ED treatments since 2018, will create a custom treatment program that combines focused shockwave therapy with acoustic wave therapy for proven, long-lasting results for as little as $300 a session. Guys, thanks to focused shockwave therapy from Forge Medical Group, you don't have to suffer from erectile dysfunction any longer. And neither does your partner. Appointments fill up fast, so call Forge Medical Group now at 610-632-8181 or visit ForgeMedicalGroup.com. That's ForgeMedicalGroup.com.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover, all for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter code IMPACT at checkout. That's harrys.com, code IMPACT. Enjoy.
Hey, it's Cuz looking for your new Nissan? Then Peruzzi Nissan is the place to go. Shop now for an incredible selection of vehicles like the Rogue, Rogue Sport, Murano, and more. You're looking for a pre-owned vehicle? They got a huge certified selection ready for immediate delivery. The best part, they've got special offers available on every vehicle. And at Peruzzi Nissan, credit never an issue. They'll get you approved and driving in no time. Don't wait. Visit Peruzzi Nissan today or shop online at peruzzinissan.com.
When you hire your local CertaPro Painters, you get
the power of a cut above.
Decades of expertise to transform your home. From so-so to virtuoso.
The power of neighborhood painters.
We live where you live and probably like the same pizza place you do. Put
the power of pro
to work for you today. Get your project started at CertaPro.com.
Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Home improvement contractor registration numbers are available at CertaPro.com.
And now another no-brainer money-saving tip from Progressive.
Marcus, what happened?
I was changing my oil and I spilled some on the floor.
Oh, well, use these $50 bills to wipe it up.
Perfect. Got any more?
Yeah, take a couple hundred.
Stop. Instead of using money, use an old rag. And here's a better tip from Progressive on how not to waste money. Don't pay too much for car insurance. Drivers who switch and save could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary.
When I can't sleep, my mind just races. I think about work, the kids, but I don't think about taking melatonin because I'm afraid I'll feel groggy in the morning.
ZzzQuil Pure Z's Gummies has an optimal dose of melatonin for no next-day grogginess, so you can fall asleep naturally and wake up feeling refreshed. ZzzQuil Pure Z's Gummies for better sleep like never before. And try Pure Z Sleep plus next-day energy with melatonin plus extended-release B vitamins.
Every drive starts somewhere. For First Trust Bank, our drive started in Philadelphia and continues to this day. As Philly's hometown bank for more than 85 years, we know this city's people. We understand their passions, and we work our tails off to help them reach their goals every day. Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank. First Trust Bank, the official bank of the Philadelphia Eagles. Member FDIC.
Listen to 97.5 The Fanatic everywhere. On Alexa at 975thefanatic.com, the Fanatic app, and now on Odyssey.
Let's talk a little Primos. Yeah, we're headed to big-time Primo season because the playoffs are here, and you got to get a playoff Primo party tray. Look, we're going to be watching the games. Watching the games which is, let's face it, winter's bleak. So all we have to look forward to is football and the playoffs. And so you need food, right? And, the perfect football food and the perfect playoff food is Primo Hoagies. Then the Primo Hoagie party tray and the Primo party platters with the pepperoni and cheese and all the little pickies, which is awesome. Look, you're going to have a party. People are coming over. It could be just you and your buddy. It could be, a room full of people. It doesn't go wrong with Primo Hoagies, made only with the highest quality Thuman meats and cheeses, sliced fresh to order, served on Primo's award-winning seeded rolls. Baked fresh in-store every day, every couple hours. Throw the best party on the block with Primo Hoagies. Over 90 locations across the Delaware Valley. There's going to be one near you. Order your party trays in advance. Go online at primohoagies.com. And just remember what I always say. It's not just a hoagie. It's a Primo.
More of the Anthony Gargano Show now.
On 97.5 The Fanatic.
Go damn town!
11:30 across the Delaware Valley, 11 o'clock hour, brought to you by Golden Nugget Jewelers, where Philly gets engaged. All right. So we're always transparent with you guys. And I told you about my encounter today at the Wawa and all. And I'll be honest with you. I look at, because we're over the phones, like we purposely did not go guest heavy these first couple days after the game because, we figured it's perfect. The end of the season, all the stuff going on, you're going to want to talk about it. You want to get stuff off your chest. We're going to want to bat it around. And I laid out the weirdness with the fan base and odd vibes that are out. Pretty good at kind of understanding the vibes. Doing this a long time, you get to know, I know the region, I know the area, I know the people, I know us. I'm one of them, right? So I get the vibes. So I'm pretty in tune to the vibes. And I don't understand them. And I feel like I'm on the outs with it, which is, I don't like that feeling. And then I look up on the phones, and we got one call. And I'm curious. Like, I need you guys to tell me what you're feeling. What's the vibe that you're getting? And unless, I'm just looking at it wrong that once they play in 2 weeks, a week from this weekend, that, next week the excitement will be there. I don't know. I could just tell you about my most recent encounters and talking to a lot of people around the way. It just doesn't. They're not there. And then I look at you guys on the phones, and it's not there either. I don't know what you make of it, Tunis, either, because usually it's packed. Like, we got 6 deep, and people are calling every 5 seconds to get in,
right?
To get heard. And we purposely said we'll do Jet McLean today, 12:30. We do our vault, and we give people a chance to kind of get stuff off their chest and get excited and join the conversation. And I'm surprised.
Yeah, I am. I
don't
too.
need to go veer off in the Eagle stuff. It's playoffs, man. I want to talk about the playoffs.
Well, that's the thing. Like, look, it's no question that I don't want to say they obviously didn't sneak into the playoffs, right? They're 14-3. They're the 1 seed. It's just the last 3 weeks you would think that they weren't that great of a football team by the way things have looked. But 2 of those 3 weeks with a backup quarterback, and last week, the other day, I know Hurts didn't look great, right? He goes 20 of 35. Looks like he's probably still dealing with some soreness. Sirianni even said that he's still dealing with some soreness. But you also didn't have that advance of a game plan knowing that Davis Webb was the starting quarterback of the New York Giants and that there were many starters on defense not playing for the Giants. So it's not like you're going to scheme up some Super Bowl winning game plan to play against a team. So even though they didn't look pretty, look, they got the 1 seed, and I feel like that should be celebrated. And yesterday was shocking. There was more of a malaise yesterday, and it is carried into today, which is weird to me. But I guess people are just, concern for their chances at doing something in the playoffs?
I literally can't tell you.
We've talked about the NFC a million times. There's really only one team that you kind of go, all right, that'd be a tough matchup, and it's the Niners.
What? That's it. I mean, really, we got a chance to be, part of me wants to see the Cowboys come up here. I do. I want them. I don't know about you. I'd rather see Dallas than Tampa.
Well, in terms of the story and beating the Cowboys and shutting everybody up, yeah, that'd be fun.
All right, let's get to the phone lines.
I did put up a poll, by the way, so check it out on 97.5 Middays.
You're a pollsman.
It's early in the votes, so get to that 97.5 Middays. I'll bring that up coming around noon. That sounds good to you.
I love it.
People aren't fired up. I'll tell you already. Early returns, but we'll get to it.
Why? I'm going to go out of my mind.
I'll tell you right now, majority of people not fired up.
Why? I love you guys. Like that Phillies run was the greatest, man. It's the greatest. I love it. I want to do it every day. I never want the party to end.
I know. But I just wanted to let you know, even though we're not going to the polls yet, you're not wrong in what you're thinking.
All right. Aaron, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Hello, Aaron.
I told you I'm going to bother you all week.
You're never a bother.
I believe they can win the Super Bowl. But here's the problem, I think, and a lot of people just don't, right? A lot of people just don't. And I hope the poll is that, Andrew, can they win the Super Bowl? Now, this is what I'm going to say, and expectations, when you kicked out the expectation thing a while ago, I wasn't with you. Because I had expectations. Every year you got to have something for the team.
Okay,
right?
wait, time out. Let's have a two-way conversation.
Let's dive into this.
Let's have a two-way conversation real quick.
Okay.
You've been following football your whole life.
Yeah.
Like you know that this is a new regime. They're in their second year. How many second-year regimes go to the Super Bowl? It's a rarity. Like the Doug thing was like that year was a blue snow. Like that doesn't happen every year. It never happens.
But if we look at the moves that was made when we got A.J. Brown.
Yeah, they were great. Howie did an amazing job.
So we felt as though that was a good team. You got two good cornerbacks.
Yeah, I said they could win 14 games in July.
So you say 14 games, but it's like we knew they was going to have a good season because the teams wasn't that great that we was playing at the time when we looked at the schedule, right? So we saw something in that. But the way they did it gave me an inspection, I think this team can win it. And Hurts is 14-1 this year when he plays?
Yeah.
And it's just the fear of Philadelphia to me that, we don't expect nothing good. And I don't know if that guy, he said it wrong to you, but that's how much people really feel, that they might get there and then they're going to lose it.
Okay, well, but again, if that does happen, why would you say that now? Now's the time to be unbridled.
My point, yes, it's the time to you don't have real faith and just see what happens. And
now's the time to have faith. Now's the time to go, throw it off to the wind.
Right. So I'm not going to come in here and say, and never come on the station, I don't care who we playing in the Super Bowl, we're going to lose, or if we get there, we're going to lose. I'm going to say we're going to win.
Okay.
I want them to win.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. You're automatically going to the Super Bowl. Like, to me, when the playoffs begin, it's the road of the unknown path. Like, you don't know the path. You don't know the ending. You don't know the path. And it's just excited. Like, for me, I just don't know why you guys aren't just excited for the trip.
I am excited.
But you keep going. Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Bowl.
Because that's the expectation I want them to do.
Well, we all want them to go to the Super Bowl. That's normal.
Because the NFC just don't scare me. I don't worry.
Yeah, but that's good. That's good.
It just don't bother me like it bothers everybody. I'm not worried about San Fran. I'm not worried about Dallas. I ain't worried about Minnesota. Those three teams, I'm just not worried about them. I think we can beat them.
Yeah.
No problem. That's how I feel. But I'm going to enjoy the ride. I'm going to enjoy when they
All
play.
right. Well, listen, I hear you. I guess, I don't know. I mean, I think it's obvious that we all, if you're an Eagles fan, you want them to win the Super Bowl. All right, you're the 1 seed, win the Super Bowl, that's what it is. But just it's the playoff week. It begins this week. We get the luxury, and it's a great luxury, to be able to watch and analyze how are these teams playing. What's Purdy like in his first playoff game? We got to go see them in the championship game. They got Elijah Mitchell now to pair with McCaffrey. What's that like? What's their defense? What's Tampa, Dallas? This is all great stuff that we have the luxury without having the tense of being one and done, of being out of the playoffs. They don't play.
Can I read just an awful response to our poll? I'm not even giving you the poll yet, but just an awful response.
Oh, wow, you really want to make it worse, huh?
And first off, let me say, Greg, I appreciate your service. He's a Navy vet, so I appreciate that. I'm not taking a personal attack at you here by any means. But I really hope that he is the only person that has this thought.
My God, you really have to. What are you doing to me? Why would you, knowing the encounter I had this morning, why would you now double down on that?
His response to the poll is, nobody gets as excited for a sequel as they do an original. Nothing will ever top 2017.
Oh, that's not what I expected.
But, so we're now too good for other Super Bowls? Come on.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Hey, I want to be Boston. I want to win 85 championships in 10 years.
Yeah, I guess intellectually there are, the first one, the fact.
No, I get that.
We were dying.
But he's
right.
Listen, but he's coming off as if he's not even that excited for the playoffs.
I know.
They already won, so pish posh, I'm good. It's like Embiid. Oh, he scored 60 again. We'll do that tomorrow.
Would you say pish posh?
Pish posh.
Never heard that before.
Pish posh.
Never heard pish posh.
I think it's a saying, or did I just completely make it up?
I don't know.
No, it's definitely a saying.
Pish posh.
I'm googling pish posh.
All right.
Pish posh. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
Never heard of it. Sounded odd coming out of you. Not gonna lie.
All right. Delicious.
Pish posh. What's it mean?
Nonsense.
Okay.
According to Merriam-Webster.
There you go.
Oh yeah, I was on board there.
You are. That's good. Used it correctly.
Thank you.
Michael, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Mike.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Michael.
Kaz, Tunis, I'm in construction. I'm on the road a lot. I really enjoy listening to you folks. I'm a diehard Philadelphia fan. I'm saying this tongue-in-cheek. I think one of the issues with Philadelphia is we're used to clutching defeat from the jaws of success. But I wanted to address the issue you had at the Wawa this morning.
Yes.
I'm married, and my wife is much smarter than I am. I'm amazed by the idiocy of driving when I'm on the highway. They make moves so stupid, I couldn't even imagine thinking of doing them. And my wife reminds me 50% of the population is dumber than average. So expecting them to drive intelligently,
right?
That's not in their wheelhouse. So, I think the issue, like the guy at the Wawa, God bless him, that's all he's got.
Okay, man, all right, I got you. But if that's the case, and you are, because I know the guy was an Eagle fan, I believe it all the way. Why do you want to pee on the one thing you got? I want to cherish the one thing I got.
I'm with you 100%, but we're running on all cylinders. He may not be.
I got you. Yeah, you're right, Mike. You're right. Right on, buddy. You too. Be careful. Watch the idiots. Let's go to John. You're on 97.5 The Fanatic, Johnny.
Yo, Aunt Tunis, what up, guys?
What's going on, John? Happy New Year, brother.
What's going on? I want to talk about this lack of excitement that we got going on.
Do you feel it too? You sense it?
I feel a little bit, but I think it's more X and O for me. I mean, I look at Jonathan Gannon, and we know his shortcomings here and there. It's kind of like having like a nice big grill. You know, bought like a $1,500 grill. It's got all the bells and whistles, but it can only go on like medium heat. You know, he doesn't dial the heat up enough. And us in Philly, man, you know, Reggie White, the 91 team and all that, like 04, whatever team you want to bring up, 02, like we're used to that blitzing kind of like savagery. And I just don't feel that. Like we have the players for it. It's just, he's got to bring it, man. And I think people are, but they kind of know he's not going to bring it. And look at that Saints game, you know, in the first drive, they go right down the field. Like that shouldn't happen, you know? If you got the right coordinator in there,
okay, so in general, I agree with you, right? Like in general, I'm not I don't like the scheme. I like a more aggressive defense, you know, pressure-based. However, they are setting a record of sacks.
Yeah, and listen, I understand, and that's great, and we can celebrate that. You know,
and they only lost 3 games,
whatever. But listen, you can't be playing 10 yards off, guys, man. Like you're gonna be playing 10 yards.
No,
off.
We established. You and I would agree with that. However, they have had success with it, right?
Yeah.
So we can't even know and you and I walk the same block. Like we have the same view on how you run a defense. We like Jim Johnson's defense, but
I take risks.
Right. Like, listen, I'm with you. I mean, you know, we cut our teeth on that. However, Gannon's had success. They've set a record of sacks, and they went 14-3. And so, you know, like there's only so far I can go and say it's going to ruin my day because the fact of the matter is they won 14 games. You can say it's the players, you can say whatever, but they won 14 games and the defense played well.
Well, I remember that week you were off, and Tunis was saying all week, hey, you know, Saints are trash, you know, the Eagles should steamroll them. And here they go. They're running right down our throats. You know, they looked at that Washington tape, and they were able to do it, man. And I don't know. It scares me a little bit. I get what you're saying.
I mean, Minshew was in the game ultimately, right? Like that was that. Yeah, it was horrible. The first 9 minutes, having them hold the ball for 9 minutes was terrible. Terrible.
Yeah, dude.
But
can't do that.
But, you know, they still won. Minshew was the quarterback of that day.
No, I get it.
You know?
And I think,
I want you to be excited. It was the playoffs, Johnny.
Oh, dude, I am excited. But
all right.
I'll get more excited next week. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. That's fair. That's fair enough. My brother, we'll talk to you then, buddy. 610-632-0975.
It's 3rd and 12. And then they gain 11 yards.
Don't feed the fish.
Ben, but don't break it.
Why you feed the fish? I'm trying to get everybody excited. And you're feeding that narrative.
Ben, but don't break.
It may be right. You may be correct, but do I need you to feed the fish right now? I said there's a sign. Don't feed the fish.
Oh, I'm sorry. You got a nice koi pond or something?
Come on, homie. 610-632-0975. Let's go ready with the shoes. 97. Listen, I feel the same way, but it's not like that. But I got to also go, they won 14 games, so I got to dial back. I can't just put him in a cannon. I'm hoping that he gets the job at Houston, right? And Vic Fangio's the guy. But, you know, in fairness, I can't keep him in the cannon. You know, even though John and John are both snug as a bug in the cannon. 610-632. Johnny the K, that is. All right. Let me tell you about Golden Nugget Jewelers. It's engagement season as well as playoff season, with the engagement Super Bowl being Valentine's Day. So if you're thinking about popping the question, I got you, man. One thing I do know is I got people. So whatever you ever need, I got you. And so I got a jeweler, Gold Nugget Jewelers. That's your own. All right, he's a diamond man. He's got the largest selection of certified diamonds. He's right in the heart of Jewelers Road, Center City. You go see him. You drop my name. He's right on 8th and Chestnut, Gold Nugget Jewelers. There's an entrance on 8th Street. There's an entrance on Chestnut Street. You go in. You make your way there. He's got great designers, Tacori and Viraggio, for the settings with that selection of certified diamonds and the financing plans, all kinds of options to make you build the best ring without the stress. You're going to get an amazing engagement ring, and she's going to love it. All right? Go to goldennuggetjewelry.com. That's the website, goldennuggetjewelry.com. Golden Nugget Jewelers is where Philly gets engaged.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Wouldn't believe it, but the Eagles are the top seed in the NFC. I'm Andrew Salchunas, and this update is brought to you by the Philly Boat Show. Shop 15 dealers with in-stock boats ready to deliver at the Philly Boat Show, January 27th through the 29th at the Expo Center at Oaks. Details at phillyboatshow.com. Talking a lot about the Birds, who are the top seed in the NFC. After going 14-3 this year, Jeff McLean will join the Cubs coming up at 12:30. Flyers with a nice win in Buffalo over the Sabres yesterday, 4-0. Sixers were off yesterday, but they're back in action tonight when they host the Pistons. That game tips off at 7 o'clock, and you can listen live right here on The Fanatic. This update is also brought to you by the Empire State Building. Find out why the reimagined Empire State Building Observatory was voted America's #1 attraction by travelers on TripAdvisor. Get your tickets at empirestatebuilding.com/radio. Open daily. Reservations required. I'm Andrew Salchunas, and this is 97.5 The Fanatic.
It's the Cuz, Anthony Gargano. Weekdays 10 to 2 on 97.5 The Fanatic.
You know, home shows provide homeowners the deepest discounts on remodeling projects. It's John Kincaid from my friends at Window Nation, and they're bringing home show savings right into your house. Schedule a free, no-obligation in-home demonstration today and lock in this incredible offer. Get 2 free windows for every 2 that you buy with no limit, plus pay no interest for 60 months. If you want to know what your home would look like with new Window Nation windows, use their free virtual visualizer. Go to windownation.com/home show. You upload a picture of your house and you try out hundreds of options online. Every size, every style, every color. You get design tips from the experts, and you learn how Window Nation's trained installation specialists have helped over 150,000 homeowners. Home show savings last for just a limited time. So call Window Nation today at 866-90-NATION or go to windownation.com/home show. 2 free windows for every 2 you buy and no interest for 60 months. That's a full 5 years. 866-90-NATION or go to windownation.com/home show.
For adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy, now there's Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months, and Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Nothing and me go hand in hand. Nothing on my skin, that's my new place. Nothing is everyday.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, you could achieve 90% clearer skin. Ask your doctor about the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
With the start of the new year, BetRivers Online Sportsbook is your home for all the latest lines, odds, and boosts. Whether you're a football, hockey, or basketball fan, BetRivers has you covered. Join BetRivers every week for new promotions like their Tuesday hockey goal insurance, Sunday football parlay insurance, and more. Now, coming up on Saturday, I like San Francisco -10 versus Seattle, followed by Jacksonville +1 versus L.A. On Sunday, I like Buffalo -10.5 and New York +3 versus Minnesota. So many great playoff games coming up. Head to BetRivers.com or download the BetRivers app today. It's a whole new game. You must be 21 or older and in Pennsylvania to play, void where prohibited. Terms and conditions apply. Presented by Rivers Casino Pittsburgh. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, it's John Kincaid. The cold weather is here, and if you're worried that your furnace isn't going to cut it this winter, I want you to check out my friends at H&H Heating and Air Conditioning. You can trust H&H for a thorough system checkup now before the temps drop even lower. H&H's $59 gas furnace tune-up includes a carbon monoxide safety check. You'll have home comfort and peace of mind. If you need a new system, H&H has rebates of up to $1,500 or 0% financing for 18 months for qualified buyers. That's DelcoHVAC.com to schedule your $59 tune-up now at DelcoHVAC.com.
It's back. The 23rd Annual Greater Philadelphia Boat Show. January 27th through 29th at the Expo Center at Oaks. Don't wait another year for your new boat. Shop 15 dealers from 3 states with in-stock boats ready for immediate delivery. The Philly Boat Show. January 27th through 29th at Expo Center at Oaks. Details at phillyboatshow.com. That's phillyboatshow.com.
And now another no-brainer money-saving tip from Progressive.
Marcus, what happened?
I was changing my oil and I spilled some on the floor.
Oh, well, use these $50 bills to wipe it up.
Perfect. Got any more?
Yeah, take a couple hundred.
Stop. Instead of using money, use an old rag. And here's a better tip from Progressive on how not to waste money. Don't pay too much for car insurance. Drivers who switch and save could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Starting trouble. No one likes that. We'll get you set up for some stronger starts. You might just need a fresh charge, and we'll take care of that free of charge.
But if it is time for a new battery, we've got replacement batteries that'll fit your needs, starting at just $79.99.
You can learn more about our battery selection at AutoZone.com. That's what makes us America's #1 battery destination.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Claim based on data from the NPD Group 2021.
Finding new patients for your dental practice can be like pulling teeth.
If you are a dental professional in the Philadelphia area, we dare you to Google, who's the best dentist near me? If your practice does not show up on the first page of the search results, then you may be committing marketing malpractice.
For as little as $499 per month, BuildMeABetterSite.com will create and manage a website to ensure your practice shows up for new patients who are ready to rinse and spit. Visit BuildMeABetterSite.com for your free demo.
BuildMeABetterSite.com is a small business resource of 97.5 The Fanatic.
Let's talk a little bit about Colonial Marble and Granite. Start the new year by renovating your space. How about your kitchen and your bathroom? And you can turn it into some beautiful space with the help from Colonial Marble and Granite. They're going to make that happen, not just with new countertops, but also cabinetry, tile, and flooring, and you name it. Visit one of their area showrooms and meet with incredible sales professionals who can help you with the selection to installation. I know Colonial Marble and Granite, Nikos and his family. I mean, the Papadopoulos family, great people. They have just great products, man. They really do. Great taste, amazing stuff. They can make your home just transform it, all right? They offer free in-home consultations. Just call and make an appointment. They have the nation's largest selection of slab yard. Select the exact stone slab that you want for your countertop. The process is unbeatable. I'm telling you, it's amazing. Get a fully installed quartz, marble, or granite countertop for just $19.99. You need financing? They offer zero money down, 0% financing for up to 18 months. And ask about their new vanity program. Whether you're designing a bathroom from scratch or remodeling an existing space, a pick-up-and-go vanity from Colonial Marble and Granite, the perfect way to transform your home. I'm telling you, check them out. Visit a local showroom or online at colonialmarble.net. When you call them, tell them Cuz sent you.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station, home of the most entertaining sports talk in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
12 o'clock, noon time across the Delaware Valley. Cuz ready with the tunes. Now, what do you got? You got some stuff there?
Yeah, I got some stuff on the social webs. One a good tweet from our man Alfie, who's a Detroit Lions fan.
I love
Alfie. Is my man.
Good for you. By the way,
yeah,
I listen. That's a team that Justice says would be good.
Yes,
They're like the
I
Bills.
agree.
Like, it's impossible to root for against a team like that.
I
was rooting for them all day against on Sunday night against Green Bay.
Oh, yeah, especially against, Rodgers, Mr. Peyote. So Alfie checks in. How in the sweet, crispy bleep is the Lions season deemed universally as a success? But there's people who have that point of view of any team who goes 14-3 and secures playoff home field. I'm all for it's 5 o'clock somewhere, but even I want to punch the dude. And he's
Thank you, Alfie.
He's right. The Lions had a successful season. They didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Eagles go 14-3. They stink.
Yeah.
According to the guy at the Wawa.
Thank you, Alfie.
So I appreciate that point of view from a Lions fan outside looking in. And I have the poll of the day, Ant, which is brought to us by Marvin Cans Heating and Air Conditioning. Marvin Cans Heating and Air Conditioning.
Do that bad breath, too, by the way. It was like, oh, dude, man.
Sorry to hear that.
Come on, man. Bronson.
The people at Marvin Cans don't have bad breath, heating and air conditioning. They're open and able to assist you with any emergency service and replacement needs, including installation of air scrubbers and other air quality products. Visit marvincans.com. Put out the poll on middays that you're feeling a sense. You got the sense that people aren't as fired up as you thought they would be. Eagles went 14-3. They are in the top seed in the NFC, and there isn't much celebrating. Why is that? The 4 options, Ant. I'm fired up. Go Birds. That's number 1. Go Bears. Number 2, season ended poorly. Number 3, concerns with injuries. And number 4, I have to wait 2 weeks until they play. The majority of the votes out of the 4 options is I'm fired up, go Birds, but at 40%. That means there is a 60% of they're not fired up. And 21, the second leading vote getter, is concerns with injury. 20.
Okay, so I too share the concern.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean
still looking forward to the playoffs.
Right. Like, that doesn't mean
hope they overcome.
And they should be able to win. Like, again, I think the shoulder's hurt. I mean, it sucks, but it's kind of where it is. However, it's still the playoffs, man. Let's go.
Right. 21%. The season ended poorly. 20% of the vote.
Wow, that's a lot. That's substantial.
A lot. And then
season ended poorly. Gardner Minshew started 2 losses.
Yeah, we forget that. And then 19% say I have to wait 2 weeks.
All right.
There's a lot of people saying I'm just not celebrating yet because the job's not done.
All right. Interesting. Yeah, it's not about celebrating, but no one's saying you got to celebrate. I'm just talking about, like, let's get nuts. We know get nuts. EAGLES. That means chance. And what do you think? And let's go. Like, and a genuine excitement. Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's not there right now.
By the way, tomorrow is Fanatics All-Star Day.
Oh, yeah, I'm excited for this.
From 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., playoff preview edition, All-Star Day. That's right, Chuck D'Amico. Listen from 6 to 6 for all the Fanatic hosts together. We'll have NFL experts, insiders. It's going to be a great day, all presented by the Bet Parks Casino and Sportsbook app, where odds, slots, bets, and games all come together in perfect harmony right in your pocket. Download now at betparks.com.
Would you like to know the schedule for our show tomorrow?
Yes.
So
you got the schedule?
Got the schedule right in front of me.
How did Chuck do us?
I did it good. Did well.
Did all right?
Yeah. So the opening segment, just you and I. We're the only 2 All-Stars. So it's just you and me solo, the first segment. But then the second segment for a segment, we have Bob and Pat from the morning show. Love Bob and Pat. And then
Can we split them up?
Could, but it's
like I like to tweak the schedule already. I mean, first I tweak. I would split them up
because schedule comes in.
Well, it is our show. Can I do that? Can I get in there? Chris, listen. I want to talk about Bob. I want to talk to Bob. I got a lot of stuff to talk about Bob.
All right, we'll have Pat.
I'm ignoring Pat.
We'll have Pat come in the first segment. But they're a good duo, the two of them.
I don't want them as a duo. I want them singular. All right. I'm all ready. Go ahead. What else we got?
11 o'clock, we have Devon for a segment.
I love Devon. Right. It's my man.
And then from 11:30 until our 12:20 break, we have two breaks there. From the best show ever, Tyrone and Ricky Bo together.
Oh, that's awesome.
So looking forward to that with them for an hour.
Ty and Bo. That's great. All right.
Then for another hour slate, 12:30 to 1:20, we got Giant of the K. So it's you and John. You get to talk about Jonathan Gannon together.
For an hour?
For an hour.
I love Johnny Decay. I love listening to Johnny Decay. I might need Pat with Johnny Decay.
Okay.
Can we make that happen?
I don't know. Pat is not doing anything on the afternoon show, so he may be in bed and taking a nap at that point. But maybe I can make a few phone calls.
Dude, make a couple calls.
And then finally, final segment, we have from the best show ever, Hunter and Jen.
Awesome. That sounds like fun. We love everybody, so it's gonna be a lot of fun. Always fun to chop it up with everybody. That would be the only change I would make. Would be even if go John a half hour solo and Pat a half hour solo. Or together. It don't matter to me. But I like to have, to mix it up with everybody.
By the way, do you know your schedule?
No.
Okay.
Do I have one?
Yes.
What's my schedule?
You'll be on at 8 o'clock with Giant Decay.
Okay.
And then also that 8:30 segment, which is when I'll join you. And then for the best show ever.
You want to flop? You go on at 8? I'll go on 8:30?
I got baby duties.
Oh, all right.
Babysitter.
Okay.
And then best show ever, you'll be on from the 3 to 4.
Nice. Sounds like fun. I love the All-Star Day.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a good time.
Looking forward to it. All right, let's go to Tommy. You're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Tom.
Hey, guys. How you doing? Hey, I think it's going to be a great weekend. We got, 6 playoff games coming up, and then we got our team playing next week. It's awesome. But the reason I called you.
Yes.
I have the 3 reasons why you're sensing some apathy among the Eagles fan base. And I'll be honest with you, I feel it myself, too.
Okay.
Stick with me here real quick. Number 1, we had our first one. That was our holy grail. Nothing's ever going to beat that. You guys touched on that. That's part of it. Number 2, I don't think this team is as relatable as previous Eagles teams, and I'll tell you what I mean. The feel of the team is kind of predicated on the head coach and the quarterback for the most part. I think Sirianni, with his T-shirts and his antics and his kids at the press conference, he's trying too hard to endear himself. Hurts is aloof. He's cocky. He's arrogant. I think these guys, I don't know what they're like.
Wow, that's amazing. It's interesting how people take other people, right? Like, I completely disagree with you on those two. But I mean, it's just the way you take it and the way I take it is just that's how different it is,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I just can't relate to
I love Sirianni. I don't know. I don't think he's tried too hard at all. I just think he's a sports dude. He loves sports. He loves football. Like, I don't see trying too hard at all. And you think Hurts is arrogant?
I do, man. I do. When I see him, he just looks like, you know what? When he's talking to the press or even when he's on the sideline, he's just like, I have no interest in trying to relate to the fans. I don't need my guy to be relatable to me, for the team. I'm just saying, I get a vibe from him like he is just all business and he's not interested in the fan base. I don't know. It's just what I get. But anyway, the third point, this team underperforms to inferior competition. We know our team as Eagles fans, and we know that they have a potential to drop a game, and I think that's what we're all worried about secretly.
Okay, where have they displayed this year in that, what you just said?
Where have they underperformed to inferior competition?
Yeah.
Against the Bears, against the Commanders.
Okay, all right, hold on. The Bears, they won the game. It was sub-0, and they won the game. The Commanders, they should have won the game, if not for a Dallas Goedert missed call on the face mask that caused the fumble and a Quez Watkins fluke. And that was their only loss with the starting quarterback.
And I don't even mean necessarily a loss. I mean underperforming. Like, even in this Giants game, I realized there was...
I gotta stop you. Do you watch the rest of the league?
Oh, yeah, man. Definitely.
You do? I mean, I'm not being... And listen, you're a great dude, and I'm not being sarcastic or anything. But the nature of a 17-game season in today's NFL, give me a team that doesn't fall in the trappings of schedule, of a long season. I mean, that doesn't exist. There's a reason why they call them trap games or you come up flat. I mean, that's the nature of the league.
You're completely right. I'm just telling you that I just have this feeling. I just think sometimes they look past inferior competition. Sometimes they come, they wind up getting the win. But I just don't want these guys to smell themselves too much and get overconfident.
How could you lose? But it's the playoffs. How could you look past anyone in the playoffs?
I agree. I agree with you. I just hope that they don't go, oh, this is a lower seed team.
I don't get that sense at all from this team. It's interesting. I appreciate your conversation, Tom. You provide a lot of food for thought.
Well, I'll call you back after our first game, and we'll see what happens. But
all right, buddy. All right, thanks, man. Yeah, I'm like the complete opposite of Tom. First of all, I look at Jalen Hurts arrogant. I get no arrogance from him.
Yeah, I don't get
I just get a football wonk or a football, he's got no other interest but football. I don't get arrogance a little bit. And Sirianni, I don't understand it trying too hard. I just think the
goes
guy
back to the pandering thing.
I think the guy he's a sports guy. He's from upstate New York. Not far from Buffalo.
It's just funny.
Like that's the kind of people they are. They're kind of like us.
It's so funny. We drooled. Not we, like you and I, but we drooled when we would see Carson Wentz rush into the end zone, and who would he hand the football off to? Ant? He handed off to Mike Trout. And, Mike Trout loves the Eagles. He wants to come home. Trade for him, blah, blah, blah. The head coach of the Eagles wants to wear a Flyers hat when the Flyers are, playing well. He wants to wear a Sixers hat when the Sixers are in the playoffs. He wants to wear a Phillies hoodie when they're in the World Series. And people have a problem with it.
Yeah.
That I don't get, man.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I don't understand any of that. I don't. History. Listen, the Holy Grail, all right, I get it. I guess it's unfair to compare because we put so much emphasis on the Super Bowl. When you finally get it, I get for a while there's going to be nothing will ever compare to that moment. I understand that. Even though, I think we should be beyond that. And you're right about the let's beat Boston. The other two reasons he had, I don't feel it. And when have they ever shown, we talk about an unrealistic approach for a team to the Bears game? Bears were a dangerous team with a quarterback. They were playing, the weather was ridiculously cold. I mean, what do you think's going to happen? Talk about unfairly judging a team, holding them up to some standard that's unreachable.
Yeah, there's not many undefeated Dolphins teams. There's one. All right, which is why they celebrate every year when the last undefeated team loses.
Yeah, I hear you. But it's interesting because there might be a lot of people like that. Maybe the guy at Wawa was that kind of guy.
See, you know what's funny?
He was a nice guy. The other guy, the Wawa guy, was a jerk off.
You know what's crazy? So the inside radio, right? You mentioned it. You're looking for excitement, and there, we had one caller on hold, it was Aaron from West Philly. You bring it up, and then the lines light up. And in the past, Ant, when the lines light up, it's the people going, no, that's not true. I'm fired up. I'm looking at the call screener. It's, yes, I'm negative. Yes, Jonathan Gannon, I'm in a bad mood. That guy that we just talked to. It's, at first I would think, well, wow, the lines are lighting up because people are coming to your side. No, man, it's still it's people expressing their dissatisfaction.
I'd rather you be honest. I don't need you to pander to me.
It's not even that.
I wish it were different. I wish I could just go, Tunis, play the song, and everybody's excited. Rah. Let's go to our man, Zio Frank. Uncle Frank.
Happy Tuesday to all. Yes.
Uncle Frank, what do you say, brother?
Hey, pish posh, Andrew.
Listen, Uncle Frank, it's playoff time. I need you at your best.
Here we go. Anthony, you should change the name of the show to Cuzadamas Radio. I mean, Andrew, I was with you in late summer when Anthony's spitting the 14-3 out, and I'm thinking, whoa, my man's hitting the lemon again. But I got it.
The lemon haze.
Whoa. I didn't want to say the H word, but yes.
Yes.
Listen. Everybody, my God, what a season. What a season. T. Will, by the way, you're listening. Great call yesterday, my man. It was about time someone bought alacrity. Andrew, give me some bells, buddy boy.
Oh, I'm sure this should go well.
Wow.
Listen, it's okay. I don't lower myself to other standards. All right, listen, you three. Our damn Birds are the number 1 seed. They're 14-3. Our quarterback goes from a mediocre to a very good quarterback overnight. Got very good young coaches. Imagine, well, most of them. Best offensive line coach in the game, a dynamic GM who certainly knows the art of a deal. I mean, there's a lot to roar about, squads. And you know what? Bring me the damn Cowboys and those misfit fans. You know, if you're from Dallas, is it a birthright that you're born delusional? I mean, those fans, you're kidding me with those fans. And that one Dallas fan.
Go ahead, Frank.
Yeah.
Keep going. You're doing well.
Hey, yeah. And they fans who are all over the country and the front runners, America team, I add. So let's go. Wake up, everybody. Wake up. Go.
Here you go. Look at Uncle Frank. Come on, Tunis. That was good.
Dishwash.
What did you give him?
That was good. That was an A.
All right.
And
got an A, Uncle Frank.
That was good. Uncle Frank had a.
Did he hang up or you hang up?
No, he hung up.
Wow.
So he had a goal this year to not get zapped for, I think it was the first month of the year. Now, he got zapped his last call. So that failed already. But he has called, I believe, 4 or 5 times already in the first 10 days.
All right.
And he's, well. He's 4 for 5.
Doing well.
You know, it's good average.
I need another veteran, man. I got a great one from the fighting borough of West Oak Lane. My man, Keith. Keith, Happy New Year, brother.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Andrew. How y'all doing?
What's going on, my brother? How you been, all right? How's the family?
Hey, everybody's fine, man. Everybody's fine. Listen, and I heard what you was asking about. And too many people, man, they shook because of the last 3 games. Okay? And they're not even putting into the equation that Jalen was hurt, man.
Yes.
Jalen was hurt.
Yes.
Matter of fact, we kind of like blessed that he's not going for the season.
Yes. Yes.
And trust me when I say we needed every 5 minutes of these next 2 weeks of being off, or the next,
I agree.
To get healthy. We won the division. We are the top seed in the NFC. That is something to celebrate. And I'm going to tell you something. A lot of these cats may not know this reference, but if there's anybody that's going to do a Willis Reed, it's going to be Jalen when it's time for the playoffs.
Look at that. Willis Reed coming in with
Willis Reed is, tell me what Willis Reed did.
So Willis Reed, the historic Nick, the great Willis Reed, was not supposed to play, Tunis. He had a bad knee. And he came out, and he had the greatest game ever, led him to the championship, the whole thing. It was like one of the great moments of all time, an injured player coming out. And it goes down in sports lore. Right, Keith?
That's right, man. Absolutely. And that's what I think Jalen's going to do. You can't
arm hanging at the side.
Hey, look, you can't tell me he's not going to leave it all on the field.
I agree.
All right?
Yeah.
They had him on the governor. Last game. They told him to stay put and just run this bland offense, and that's what he did. You better believe he's going to get cut loose in those playoff games. And when we find out who the first victim is, that's when I think everybody's going to get even more hype.
I like it. Thank you, Keith. Thank you for this.
Have a blessed one, man.
You too, brother. You too. Always a pleasure, my main man.
Willis Reed or Jordan Flu game? Go.
Well, I didn't remember the Willis Reed game. I just know of it in lore, but I would go Willis Reed.
Okay.
I mean, I'm a Jordan all the time,
that's what I was asking.
I still think the Flu game was what it was. That he was at a bad
pizza.
Yeah, I think there's been a lot of things going on there. Plus, he probably was sick, but he probably was doing everything else besides that. That was marvelous. All right, 610-632-0975. Everybody sit tight because we got Jeff McLean coming up, and then the rest of the show's yours. So I want to talk to you because I see Barry, lack of excitement. I see everybody out, Mike and Ronnie and T-Love and Ricky. So, let's hear it. Let's have this discussion. Cuz Radio with the Tunis right here, 97.5 The Fanatic, and let's talk about Corporate Lee's Bakery. Talk a little food. Talk a little tomato pie. Because that's what Corporate Lee's Bakery is known for, the tomato pie. You walk into that bakery, smell the bread. That baking bread smell is intoxicating, Tunis. And then you couple it with the tomato pie, with the fresh Roma tomatoes and the olive oil and the basil. And all, man, it's delicious. It's incredible. And that's what Corporate Lee's Bakery is. They take you back to a kinder, gentler time when families still gather together to enjoy traditional recipes and fresh ingredients. Still Corporate Lee's Bakery and Deli. Since 1924, the Corporate Lee's family's been sharing their family's favorite foods and flavors with their favorite Philadelphians. Yes, the freshly baked breads, the rolls, the cookies, the pies, and the world-famous tomato pie. They got 3 locations, Norristown, Limerick, and Audubon, where 4 generations of pride go into everything they make. All right? Take yourself back to a better time where nostalgia isn't just a word, it's an ingredient. Learn more. CorporateLee'sBakery.com.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Talk about the Birds. Amanda Salchunas, and this update is brought to you by AAA Car Care. Get a special winterization package for just $64.99 at AAA Car Care Centers now through January 31st. See store for details or visit AAA.com/mycar. A lot of conversation about the Eagles. They are the top seed in the NFC, 14-3, their regular season record. Jeff McLean will join the Cuz coming up next at 12:30. Sixers in action tonight. They host the Pistons. The game tips off at 7 o'clock, and you can listen live right here on The Fanatic. Last night on The Fanatic, you heard the Flyers shut out the Sabres. A nice 4-0 win. Keep it locked here on The Fanatic for all of this latest news and information. I'm Andrew Salchunas, and this is 97.5 The Fanatic.
It's the Anthony Gargano Show on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hey guys, Bob Cooney here. And at FanDuel Casino, we know the only thing better than a win is a free win. That's why they made Reward Machine, the daily free-to-play game that gives you a chance to win up to $2,000 in casino bonus. They have given away over $10 million in free bonuses, and they're just getting started. Every day at 6 p.m., you get 3 chances to spin the Reward Machine reels. And there are 3 ways to win. 1, match any 3 symbols for an instant win. 2, collect symbols each day for a chance to win weekly prizes. Or 3, win up to $2,000 if you collect 3 trophies. So what are you waiting for? Download the FanDuel Casino app by going to FanDuel.com/Bob and start playing Reward Machine today. That's FanDuel.com/Bob.
21 plus and present in PA. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable casino-only site credit that expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/casino. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit FanDuel.com/RG.
Hey, what's going on? My name is Rob Jenners, and I am a graduate of the Connecticut School of Broadcasting, which is now the CSB Media Arts Center. I've been living my dream in radio, production, and sports broadcasting for 20 years now, thanks to CSB with the nation's most successful sports broadcasting program. We're talking sports talk, play-by-play, color commentary, get trained and get coached by the pros in just 8 to 16 weeks with a campus nearby in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. CSB Media Arts Center. Visit GoCSB.com.
Connecticut School of Broadcasting is now the CSB Media Arts Center. I'm Taylor Morgan, a proud CSB grad. The instruction from true media pros and the connections that I made spawned a career that's lasted more than 30 years. What you can learn in just 2 to 4 months at CSB Media Arts Center can set you on a whole new path. Train on site or online with classes in radio, TV, podcasting, video, all that is media. There's a campus in nearby Cherry Hill. Get your start. Visit GoCSB.com.
You know, home shows provide homeowners the deepest discounts on remodeling projects. It's John Kincaid from my friends at Window Nation, and they're bringing home show savings right into your house. Schedule a free, no-obligation in-home demonstration today and lock in this incredible offer. Get 2 free windows for every 2 that you buy with no limit, plus pay no interest for 60 months. If you want to know what your home would look like with new Window Nation windows, use their free virtual visualizer. advisor. Go to windownation.com/home show. You upload a picture of your house and you try out hundreds of options online. Every size, every style, every color. You get design tips from the experts and you learn how Window Nation's trained installation specialists have helped over 150,000 homeowners. Home show savings last for just a limited time. So call Window Nation today at 866-90Nation or go to windownation.com/home show. 2 free windows for every 2 you buy and no interest for 60 months. That's a full 5 years. 866-90Nation or go to windownation.com/home show.
Ad paid for by Anthem Tax Services. $80 billion approved for the IRS to beef up their efforts to pursue those that owe. Are you tired of the IRS letters, levies, liens, or wage garnishments? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes to the IRS, you need Anthem Tax Services. Started by top-rated tax professionals with 30-plus years of experience, over $500 million in represented tax liabilities, and licensed in all 50 states. We are A-plus rated on the BBB and #1 choice on Money.com. Due to the financial hardships in the country, the IRS is making it easier than ever to settle your tax. Anthem Tax Services will work to find the program that is right for you, like the Fresh Start initiative that can drastically reduce your tax debt. We can help settle delinquent tax problems, end all collections, and may even reduce back taxes significantly. Call Anthem Tax Services at 800-217-5312 for a free no-obligation tax analysis, personal or business. Stop your tax problems from getting worse. Call Anthem Tax today, 800-217-5312, 800-217-5312, or anthemtaxservices.com.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
At my age, I never dreamed I'd be dealing with opioid addiction.
I was pregnant and I couldn't stop.
Getting sidelined by an injury was bad, but the cravings were way worse.
Then I heard about 844-REACH-NJ.
They connected me to treatment and I had a healthy baby.
844-REACH-NJ was the call that made the difference.
Thank goodness I made the call.
So glad I made the call for both of us.
REACH-NJ.
If you or someone you love is struggling with addiction, call 844-REACH-NJ from the New Jersey Department of Human Services.
It's Rich Gannon for the Bet Parks Casino and Sportsbook app. As a former MVP quarterback, I love a solid game plan. The new Bet Parks app is everything you want in a mobile sportsbook right from your phone. Check out pro football game parlays or bet live once the game starts. And right now, all new Bet Parks users get up to $750 in sportsbook bonuses back if your first bet isn't a winner. Download the new Bet Parks app at betparks.com. Win sports, Bet Parks.
See website for terms and conditions. Bonus funds must be wagered once, must be 21 and over, and in Pennsylvania or New Jersey. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
All right, let's talk about your vehicle for a second. That would be Meineke. Yes, get to know Meineke. 50 years of service and trust, and now's the perfect time. We need to make sure our vehicles are in tip-top condition. You know, let's face it, parts and all kind of availability and all that stuff. We got to make sure that our cars are running right. I go to Meineke. I had a great experience at Meineke. I love Meineke. Get to know them. If your car's warning bell is dinging or the check engine light's on, a couple times, my car just crapped out on me. Students had to come get me. Telling you, find out at your local Meineke what's wrong. Save $10 when you spend $50, $20 when you spend $150, $50 when you spend $400. Right now, receive 50% off brake pads and shoes. Bad brakes got you breaking your personal swear jar record. Give your brakes and your budget a break. 50% off brake pads and shoes right now at your local Meineke Car Care Center. Meineke for tires and brakes and batteries and exhaust and steering and you name it. Meineke doing car care right.
More of the Anthony Gargano Show now
on 97.5 The Fanatic.
12:30 across the Delaware Valley, 12 o'clock hour, is brought to you by our good friends at Service First Heating and Air Conditioning. Check them out, servicefirst.hvac.com. All right. Now joining us, he does such a great job covering the birds for the Inquirer, Inquirer.com. Let's get to him. The great Jeff McLean. Jeffrey.
Anthony. What's up?
So let's begin with the shoulder. All right. How much pain? How much? What are you thinking of it? How much concern, worry do we have in the shoulder of one Jalen Hurts?
Yeah, I mean, I think there has to be some level of concern because Nick Sirianni came out and said that he was hurting bad, to quote him, that he was still sore. And Jalen pretty much confirmed all of that. So, look, he was good enough to play and finish in the game. He was good enough to win the game. Was it Jalen Hurts that we knew prior to the shoulder strain? No. But he now has a couple weeks here. They got that first-round bye because they won, which is now pivotal for not only him but for several other players to rest the weary bones. In the case of Lane Johnson, give him a little more time from that groin injury, Avonte Maddox from his injury, Aaron Sippos from his ankle injury, and then maybe you get those guys back. But in terms of the quarterback, yeah, I mean, it's something that you still have to wonder how much is it going to affect him and how much is it going to affect the Eagles in terms of the offense and what they can do.
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest concern. I'm with you, brother. I am. That's the biggest concern, which is, can you run the offense with them? Right? Like the whole thing is, and look, you can't run RPRs with them. Like you weren't going to do that against the Giants. I mean, against the backup, you didn't need to run that kind of offense. But what makes them so dangerous is that defenses have to account for him on those types of runs. And the fact that he can get the ball down the field, you got A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and Goddard, and you got your running back. So, that makes it even more dangerous for teams that have to account for him keeping the ball, tucking it, and running.
Correct. I mean, I imagine that they're going to have those runs in there against whichever team they play. But the question then is, how is he 100%? I mean, can he move like he normally is? He going to be able to take those hits? Because we saw last year when he suffered the ankle injury and he wasn't the same guy in terms of his mobility, it affected the team. And, they were able to beat the Washingtons of the world down the stretch. But when it came to the Buccaneers, that wasn't the case. Now, that was a different Jalen. He's a much better passer. He's much more comfortable in the offense. He has A.J. Brown, at his disposal versus Jalen Reagor. So, and the offense has been humming. These guys have been playing together for a whole year, which has been mostly successful. So, I'm not going to say that if he's not 100%, he's going to perform like he did last year. But you need that. You want that element. Now, look, they've been able to win just kind of with the drop-back passing game at various times when teams have taken that element away. But the sole reason why they've been able to do that is because teams have had to add a guy into the box or have someone there to account for Jalen in the run game. That opens up the pass game. They can execute the pass game. Jalen can do that. He's a good passer. But the question is, if he can't even just give a little bit of a threat there, then and if his shoulder is not 100%, can he be the guy that can carry an exclusively pass offense against a good defense? That to me is the number one concern.
Yeah. No, I think that's fair enough. And doing so again with your right tackle in a very precarious situation. Yeah,
correct. Right. I mean, Lane's going to be back there. He's going to soldier through this injury, but is he going to be the like with Jalen? Is he going to be the Lane that we know that you can throw out there on an island and not have to worry about Jalen getting pressured on that side?
Yeah, I mean, that's like when I look at the landscape of the NFC, particularly the first round opponent, the divisional round opponent that they'll face, it's going to be Dallas, Tampa, or the Giants.
Right.
And the Eagles should be able to beat any of those teams. I mean, obviously, San Francisco is, if they play them in the championship game, that could be a tough game. But, if you're just looking at that next opponent, Dallas does not shouldn't strike fear in you. And, the Giants.
I think because the Cowboys are a little bit schizophrenic.
Yes.
That would probably they'd be obviously the team I'd fear more out of the 4 possible teams that they could face. And, of course, they beat them. Now, that was without Jalen Hurts, and that was at home for the Cowboys. So, yeah, the Eagles will be favored in that game. And I think if they play the way they're capable of playing, they'll beat them. But, if Dak is throwing like he did against that secondary, as he did a month ago, and, Jalen, again, the offense isn't what it was pre-Jalen Hurts injury, then that brings into play the possibility of an upset. But I think, all things being equal, those are teams that they should beat, and maybe even handily.
Yeah, listen, I'm with you. How is their health everywhere else? It seems to be pretty much intact, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think comparatively speaking, they're still one of the healthier teams in the league. With the caveat that Jalen Hurts and Lane Johnson, probably the number 1 and 2 most important players of the team, are not at 100%. Right. But, Vontae Maddox, it seems like what they're going to do there, if he's not able to go, which I don't think he will for this next game, C.J. Gardner-Johnson is back from his laceration.
That's a huge deal.
And they're basically playing him in the slot when he's not at safety, and having Reed Blankenship at safety, with the understanding, or under the premise that that personnel is better than having Josiah Scott in the slot and CJ exclusively at safety. And then the other one is, as I mentioned, the punter. Aaron Sippis wasn't great beforehand, but he had gotten a little more steady before his ankle injury, and his replacement, I think, has been kind of shaky, Brett Kern, if you're asking me. But, on the list of concerns, the punter is not quite up there with everything else. Josh Sweat, he's coming off the neck injury. He missed a game. I think that he'll be back. So that's a huge,
wow. That's a big deal.
Yeah, right now. I mean, he's got to get better. He took a pretty big, he suffered a pretty nasty injury there, and one that required him going into the hospital. But my expectation is that he'll be back.
Jeff McLean with us, Inquirer.com, does such a wonderful job covering the Birds. So there's a lot of talk. I'm curious of your position here, because I'm not concerned with Darius Slay, but there is a lot of people, a lot of fans are.
Yeah, I threw it in my story too, just because if you look at the numbers and the last half of the season versus the first half, they're not quite there. I think sometimes Darius gets blamed for stuff that is funny. Mm-hmm. Most notably the 3rd and 30 was there's nothing he could have done about that. He was playing his position. Right. People all of a sudden expected, blow your assignment to try and. So, but yeah, I think it's fair. Cornerbacks, it's a tough position. There are going to be times when you get beat man coverage. I mean, that touchdown later in the game, that was just a great catch. I don't know what else Darius could have done there. He probably could have been a little bit better on some of these balls. He had opportunities to make interceptions on. He hasn't really faced a great receiver over the last 2 months of the season. CeeDee Lamb, I guess, with being the lone exception. So that's, you would think in the playoffs there's going to be better guys that he's going to have to face. But he's still Darius Slay. I just think.
Also, you deal with that injury to Chauncey was a big deal to him.
Oh,
to that back end,
right? Yep. The secondary wasn't what it had been, and it wasn't just CJ. Then you had a couple games with Avante, both those guys out. So, I don't think that in terms of to me, it was just maybe more the deployment of him than the actual performance of Darius Slay.
So
that I'd be worried about.
If I ask you now, Sunday, were they trying to just make sure that Sanders did not overload work-wise on Sunday?
Yeah, this is the second straight game. He played his lowest percentage of snaps, 40%. So it had to be that. At some point I'm watching him and I'm like, he just doesn't look like he's Miles Sanders, and Boston and Kenny were doing a better job of hitting those holes. And I said, would you just go with those guys, especially Boston Scott, who we know has been a Giants killer his entire career. So I think, he's got his wearing knee brace. He hasn't been practicing full for the last few weeks. It's got to be the knee, right?
That's the only conclusion I came up with, because I expected a heavy dose of him on Sunday. I did, especially knowing that you weren't going to run all the RPOs.
Yeah, it started with him, and then they kind of got away from it a little bit.
I thought he ran fine. I thought he ran well. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought there were a couple runs where he just wasn't. He wasn't hitting it or wasn't making the right read. I'd be a little concerned about Miles.
All right. Is there any other area in which you are concerned?
You still there?
Yeah. Is there any other area in which you are concerned?
Oh, I'm sorry. I lost you right there. What was that?
No, I said, is there any other area in which you are concerned? We've covered the injury situation to Jalen Lane. We got Darius Slay and Miles Sanders. Is there any other areas in which you're concerned?
Well, I mean, I guess, I think Jonathan Gannon's had a great year as a defensive coordinator. This is top 3 or 4 ranked defense in any numerical, analytics that you could throw out there.
Great.
But DVOA. I mean, I don't know if they're top 3 DVOA, but I think they're top 5. They're 5 top DVOA.
Yeah, I think the roster is great.
Which is defensive adjusted, by Football Outsiders over average. The one thing that's really missing from John's resume is a performance in which he has been able to, I wouldn't say shut down, but really kind of limit a top level quarterback. And, some of that is not his fault because he really hasn't faced a lot of those guys this year. But last year when he did, the results weren't very good. We saw obviously what happened with Dak Prescott. I thought, while Aaron Rodgers did throw a couple of interceptions, I thought John's play calling against the Packers was not a good one. But I mean, this is they number 1 pass defense, more sacks than any other team by a large margin this year. I mean, there's been a lot of production from this unit. But John plays a certain style, and I know while it's not aesthetically pleasing to a lot of people here in Philadelphia, and that.
Yeah, I mean, I think we overblow that a little bit, but I don't think he's had a great year. I think he's had a very good year, or whatever you want to call it. Great, though. Again, there were spots when I thought he'd make mistakes. You and I have gone over it. I mean, you can't let the Saints hold the ball for 9 minutes. Like, I don't call that great.
To start the game. Well, that was but then, I mean, I think, John, one thing is he's done a very good job adjusting when he's had to.
Okay, yeah, I would agree with that, yeah.
Yeah. And,
but that lowers my overall grade, and you talk about stats more than I do. I don't.
Well, I don't, I mean, right. I'm not a huge, stats are great, numbers can lie, right, as they say.
Yeah, especially in football. Football, to me, is the number 1 sport where numbers lie.
But, I mean, points basically don't lie. The numbers there are good as well. No, and not every defensive coordinator, week in and week out, is going to deliver a gem. And if you look around the league, some of the best guys.
Yes. I just think he has the blessing of an amazing roster.
You just want to, I think that's part of it. Look, in this league, I mean, you just got to kind of, on defense now, just hold on. And a lot, you need an offense to, hold on for dear life a lot of times and just let your offense do the business. And, I agree. Some of the defensive success is because of the offense, right? Because of what they've done in terms of how clock management, in terms of what they've done in terms of scoring points, and the field position, all that stuff is this is an offensive team. The defense is secondary, but that also plays into why John plays the type of defense that he plays. Now you could say, why are you allowing them to gobble up the clock to keep the offense off the field? I guess they would counter a little bit with we can strike quick. We have an explosive offense. We don't want to give up explosive plays on the defensive side of the ball. That would be the counter. There are times when I feel like it's too egregious. They're playing too far back. If the pressures aren't happening, he's not willing to do something that mix things up too often. That would be my concerns with John, and especially against top-tier quarterbacks that are accurate.
Yeah, I agree.
They're going to pick you apart. They're going to pick you apart, and they'll be patient. They'll be very patient. So that's the concern that I would have. But is he going to even see one of those quarterbacks until they get to the Super Bowl?
Yeah, you're right on. You're right on. Now, again, I think San Fran's a problem, even though they don't. It's not the traditional the quarterback darting you down the field. Shanahan's
That's a different kind of problem, right?
Yeah, Shanahan's an amazing coach.
Right, because they can't, because they're willing to let you run the ball, but a team like that runs it as well as anybody.
Yeah, and they got Elijah Mitchell back too, and he's a good complement to McCaffrey.
Correct, and then if you have Devo back, and of course got killed, like you do have enough to run whatever type of pass offense you want to complement off that run defense, and then if the defense is playing. And I think right now it's probably the best defense in the league, right? D'Amico Ryan, maybe right now the best defensive coordinator.
Yeah, I'm happy for D'Amico. You got to cover D'Amico. I love D'Amico.
He was, I don't take credit for D'Amico being a future head coach, but like a year into his career, I was standing by his lockers talking to him because you really saw how this guy oozes.
He does. He's a football man.
Anybody. I mean, like they all been talking. Yeah. He had the nickname captain by the time he was like a freshman at Alabama. But I said, you're going to be a head coach one of the days. He's like, yeah, you think? I'm like, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And I've since been able to talk to him about that, and that he no doubt wants to do that. And he'll probably get the opportunity this offseason. But yeah, I mean, 49ers right now probably playing as well as any team, and that'll be a problem. No, any way you look at it, aside from put John Gannon to the side, any way you look at it, that team's going to be a problem.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be fun, man. I'm excited. What do you think? Does Gannon or Steichen get the job first?
That's it. Well, I guess it'll depend upon how this ends here. I mean, they'll both be interviewed they'll have opportunities to interview this weekend. Steichen's already got the Panthers, Colts, and Texans. Gannon's got the Texans. I imagine the Broncos, where he interviewed last year, will probably want to talk to him as well. There's 5 jobs out there. It's possible both go.
Wow. That's now that was an issue for Doug
and Andy.
Yeah. Andy went through a ton of guys. Andy had a better.
Andy did, yeah, exactly. But by the end, it was just like he just run at it everybody. And
yeah.
Going, okay, we're going to do this Jim Washburn thing, and start hiring assistant coaches. And then revolve our scheme around the assistant coaches, and then we'll think about hiring.
Yeah. Yeah, I never forget. I went to that camp, and I was excited to see Andy. He's like, dude, I can't wait to show you my wide 9, the Washburn thing. And I was just the only thing I went. He was excited about it. And I was like, do you got the mic that can run it, right?
Yeah, or the coordinator. Well, so I mean, I reported this at the time, but like he must have taken like 20 guys to steakhouses to try to get them to become.
Dude, I know.
I love.
Listen,
Spags was offered it, wasn't he? I mean, like I think Spags said, "No way, I'm running this defense."
No, that wasn't his. Yeah, that's not his defense. That was not. No.
Yeah,
but how about? I mean, I love the big man. The big man's still, I think, the best coach out there, and he's still winning. And I love that dude. He's a great.
There was a lot of other stuff going on in that building that wasn't, like he had to deal with, and he was ready to move on himself as well.
Yep.
So it wasn't just that. I mean, but just to spin it back to Nick and losing his top 2.
Does he have that Rolodex? I mean, is he?
Well, is
he cultivating guys?
I think he's got. Well, one, I think he does have in-place guys in that he can either elevate Brian Johnson, the quarterback's coach, who's highly.
I love him, by the way.
Right, or Kevin Petula, who's the pass game coordinator, or he can bring back Frank Reich. And then on the defensive side, you have Denard, defensive backs coach. I think he's a guy that's capable of being a defensive coordinator someday in this league, maybe even next year. I know that Jared Mayo is out there, and I know the Eagles really like him, and he's run a multiple scheme, and although he has the title of defensive coordinator, and he doesn't call the plays technically, he's a guy that a lot of people think has a bright future, and I think he could step into that role. And then I think if you can get Vic Fangio to run this scheme,
that would be a home run.
Guy, although there's reports that Sean Payton already has him lined up to be his guy. But
son of a creep, that sticking Sean Payton, I can't stand him.
Yeah, But then, but there are, again, if you elevate the guys within, then you got to replace them. So it can become a problem. And like you said, it was a problem for Doug almost immediately, and it eventually became a problem for Andy Reid.
Yep. Great stuff, man. I could talk to you all day long. One day we got to do a show about, like, over the last 20 years. There's so much stuff that would happen.
Oh, man.
Oh,
man. Oh, yeah.
Great.
Someday,
I enjoy that stuff. Once you really get to know some of the people. Hey, last thing, because we had a caller, and I didn't understand it. But maybe you do. You're closer than anybody. So he said two things that I disagreed with. One, he said...
You cut out on me again.
All right. You got me now?
Can't hear you. All right, cut out on you again. What'd you say?
So I had a caller who said two things that I disagreed with, but you're closer and I'll have a better take on it. He said that Nick Sirianni is a try-too-hard guy, and he said that he found Jalen arrogant. Two things that I completely disagreed with, but you're closer. You know them better than I do.
Yeah, I could see how maybe someone has that opinion of them, but I think if they come off that way, it's the subjective thing. It's how you want to view that, right? And I think you're kind of overlooking all the other great attributes that they have that really kind of more than offset if Jalen does have a little bit of arrogance, or if Nick does have a little bit of try-too-hardism in him. Okay. Right? I think it's fair to mention those two things, but I think by and large all the other positive things about them.
Yeah, I don't think they don't. Like, that's not the first thing that comes to mind for me.
Exactly, right, and that's the same thing I would say. But that being said, does Jalen have a little bit of arrogance to him? Sure, but I think a lot of quarterbacks do, and you almost need to have that gene.
I think he's such a football, like, that's what he's a coach's kid who was at Alabama. They big these programs where all his interest is. He's into the sport. Like, that's right. He lives it.
One man's arrogance is another man's confidence. One man's try-too-hardism is another man's passion and love for his players. And so I think that's kind of an interpretive thing.
Yeah. Interesting. That's great. Great answer too. Thanks, Jeff. We love you, buddy. Right. We'll talk to you next week before the game.
Talk to you.
See you, pal. That's Jeff McLean. Does such a good job covering the Birds. Wasn't that interesting?
Very. Very interesting.
Also with the coaches stuff, too.
Yeah, he thinks both are gone.
Yeah. Wow. Now, that's a big deal, man. Brian Johnson, I think, is a sharp dude. I liked him at Florida.
Yeah, I thought that was a good hire to begin with a couple of years ago.
I did, too.
Yeah.
So I like him. I'd like to get Fangio in here to run that team, man. Because the other thing about Fangio is you don't have to worry about him leaving. He could build something. He's got a great defense. And you don't have to worry about him leaving, man. You can set him in for 5 years and be happy until he retires. Let's talk about Royal Billiard and Recreation. That's my friend Audra's spot. In fact, I just hooked her up. I just hooked my buddy up with her. Because my friend Vinny, I tell you about all the time, Vinny bought a vintage pool table. And he needed a mover. He needed somebody to get this pool table intact. I go, Audra's got everything. When it comes to your home's the man cave, right? When it comes to that, I'm telling you, Audra's got you covered. Because you're looking for the playoffs and they're having some fun and building something. Well, they got pool tables and shuffleboard and ping pong and foosball and pinball and skee ball, darts and poker tables and bar stuff. I mean, whatever you need, Royal Billiard has it. All the stuff that makes you build memories, right? Like to have your friends and family and kids and neighbors and everybody's coming over and hanging out. That's where Royal Billiard comes in. They're going to help you build this thing. Visit the new Royal Billiard showroom on Bethlehem Pike in Colmar, Pennsylvania. It's huge. It's busy. It's incredible. 515 Bethlehem Pike, Colmar. All right? Or you can go online and check them out at royalbilliard.com. Royal Billiard and Recreation, Delaware Valley's ultimate game room store since 1983.
Fanatic Sports News Update.
Sixers tonight. I'm Andrew Salchunas, and this update is brought to you by Wawa. Wawa is bringing brisket back in a big way. Get the slow-cooked perfection on a sandwich. Brisket just got better at Wawa. Sixers host the Pistons tonight. Game tips off at 7 o'clock. You can listen live right here on The Fanatic. Flyers beat the Sabres yesterday, 4-0. You just heard from Jeff McLean. That will be podcasted on 97.5thefanatic.com. I'm Andrew Salchunas, and this is 97.5 The Fanatic.
Anthony Gargano, weekdays 10 to 2 on 97.5 The Fanatic.
So, the new year is here, and now is the time to take stock of your goals for 2023 and beyond. This time next year, you could be a graduate of CSB Media Arts Center and one step closer into your dream career in the broadcast media industry. Hi, I'm Jenna, a student at CSB. CSB Media Arts Center in Cherry Hill, New Jersey is molding a new generation of professionals that are shaping the future of the broadcast media industry, and you could be next. CSB offers hands-on, learn-by-doing training in podcasting, audio and video production, radio, television, sports, and more in months, not years. CSB's training gives you the skills employers want, and it's designed to prepare you for life in the broadcast media industry. College isn't for everyone. Neither is student loan debt. There's no lecture halls here, just studios. This year, make the New Year's resolution to invest in yourself and your future. I did, and it was the best decision I ever made. CSB Media Arts Center in Cherry Hill, New Jersey is approved for veterans training. Go CSB.com.
Hey guys, are you struggling with erectile dysfunction and sick of the pills? There's a major medical advancement that has helped thousands of men and is now available in Philadelphia. Oak Hills Medical Clinic uses WAVE technology, backed by 50 clinical studies, including from Cambridge University. It's been shown to increase blood flow by repairing blood vessels. No pills and no side effects. If you're ready to put a stop to your ED, call now to schedule a completely free and confidential assessment. You will receive a free blood flow ultrasound and get something unique that produces powerful results in the bedroom in just minutes. This unprecedented offer is worth $600, but is free to those that call in the next 2 minutes. 215-302-9999. That's 215-302-9999. Guys, put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and get your love life back. Call Oak Hills Medical Clinic of Philadelphia now to schedule your completely confidential appointment. 215-302-9999.
Nintendo has been trying to ruin its greatest esport. Most recently, Nintendo shut down the Smash Bros. World Tour without any warning just weeks before it was supposed to begin. This left the tournament organizers with a booked venue and other fees that they still had to pay for. This week, massive content creator Ludwig held the Scuffed World Tour, where pro players competed and raised $26,000 to help offset the damage of the Smash World Tour cancellation. Should Nintendo take ownership and pay up?
The latest esports and gaming news. Find it online at checkpointxp.com.
If you bleed green like we do, gather your crew and kick off the postseason celebration with Anthony Gargano and the Chunas. Thursday, January 19th, live at Manny Young Brew Pub from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. The first 100 fans get a custom Fanatic football shirt, enjoy great food, and $3 Corona and Corona Light cans. Get game day ready with 97.5 The Fanatic, presented by Corona. Live La Vida Mas Fino with ice-cold Corona Extra, Corona Light, or Corona Premier. Relax responsibly. Corona Extra beer, imported by Crown Import, Chicago, Illinois. Must be 21.
It's cause looking for your new Nissan? Then Peruzzi Nissan is the place to go. Shop now for an incredible selection of vehicles like the Rogue, Rogue Sport, Murano, and more. You're looking for a pre-owned vehicle? They got a huge certified selection ready for immediate delivery. The best part, they've got special offers available on every vehicle. And at Peruzzi Nissan, credit never an issue. They'll get you approved and driving in no time. Don't wait. Visit Peruzzi Nissan today or shop online at peruzzinissan.com.
Some people got COVID and thought, well, that wasn't such a big deal. But you can get COVID again, and next time it could be worse, especially for those 50 and older, or with a chronic condition like heart disease or diabetes. But with an updated vaccine, you have better protection from COVID's worst outcomes. And that's a big deal. Find updated COVID vaccines near you at vaccines.gov. We can do this. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
And now another no-brainer money-saving tip from Progressive.
Marcus, what happened?
I was changing my oil and I spilled some on the floor.
Oh, well, use these $50 bills to wipe it up.
Perfect. Got any more?
Yeah, take a couple hundred.
Stop. Instead of using money, use an old rag. And here's a better tip from Progressive on how not to waste money. Don't pay too much for car insurance. Drivers who switch and save could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary.
We all know Philly sports is big business, and we've got you covered every weekday with the Fanatic's Business of Sports reports that are powered by Pico for Business. For information on how your company can save with Pico's incentives, go to pico.com/business.
By now, you've heard all of our ads. America's largest injury law firm. It means that when you hire us, you get a legal army. When it comes to law, size matters. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station, home of the most entertaining sports talk in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
1 o'clock. Happy 1 o'clock. Tyrone brought in the M&M. He's got a hookup. He's a candy man, Tyrone.
Oh, is that right? Willy Wonka?
He is like Willy Wonka, and he shares. He always makes sure that he's like, hey, everybody come. He brings everybody. He's a good sharesman.
That's nice. Candyman.
You know what's an underrated item? Because I'm usually a peanut M&M guy.
Yeah.
But the plain M&M sometimes is a fine item.
So,
you know that? Like a good little pick-me-up of the plain M&M?
Yeah. So one of my best friends, he was one of my best men, and I was in his wedding. It was great. Their party favor, one of their party favors was these glass jars that had M&Ms on them. And it was, their initials, right? They were like printed on. It's nice. And, you know how weddings go. There's usually leftover party favors, right? And we're the last ones to go because we're in the wedding. And so I had a few pops, and I was like, I could grab a few of these. So I grabbed 4 of the little jars. It's not like I grabbed like a million M&Ms. And what I would do, and I think I just finished the last one like a month ago. I would, I'd basically drink the M&Ms, pop a few in, just to kind of get that sweet fix. It's nice.
It really is, especially like around now.
Yeah.
I'm not a big breakfast guy, so I don't eat the breakfast. So right around now, I like to get a little something, just a little tie me over to dinner time.
Yeah.
And the M&M is a nice.
Yeah, it's a solid item.
It is. It's a good item. They're little, and they're like dice too. Like, they clean your hand. Did you see the story about, it's a great story, it was on ESPN.com, about the cancellation of the game, what transpired Monday night?
Oh, yeah.
Like we thought.
It was the coaches.
It was not the NFL, the league. There was because the director, she's the director of the game. I forget her exact title, this woman who was the go-between between the league offices in New York and like they wanted to have the game. Like they were still thinking to have the game. And the coaches, Sean McDermott and Zach Taylor, were like, no way.
Yeah.
The game's not happening.
And you know what?
My guys aren't playing.
Shame on everybody. Everybody. Because there were people that started taking shots at Joe Buck. He made that up. He made that up.
Who?
People thought that Joe Buck made up this 15-minute thing or 5, whatever the warm-up thing was. They thought he made it up. He didn't pull that out of his rear end.
You
he
think
was
the
told
broadcaster
by someone
on ABC
is
going to make something up?
There were people that thought he made it up, and it's because people hate Joe Buck, and they're starting to rip him for it. No, he clearly got that from somebody in the league. And he didn't just say it once and let it go. He mentioned it multiple times because that's what he was being told by somebody. And then, no, he didn't just make that one up.
No, they're trying to figure out what's going to happen.
So shame on the NFL and shame on everybody that started taking shots at the dude that's, he doesn't know what's going on. He's being told.
Kudos, once again, to Sean McDermott, Zach Taylor, and the players They were like, there's no way. Sean was like, no way. Now, they were PC, the whole thing, because you're not going to show up the league. But they were like, there was someone who spoke to the reporter as a source on anonymity and was like, and I think it was from the Bills, and it was like, nah, man, that we knew that there was no way
we were playing
again.
Yeah.
No way.
That's ridiculous. By the way, dude, speaking of wild stories on ESPN, I read something yesterday.
What's that?
The Coop was taking a nap on me. So, I'm doing.
Isn't that the best?
Oh, yeah, it's great. So he's taking a nap on me. I'm on my phone scrolling through stuff, and I went on to ESPN. And they have somebody that covers a lot of sports betting stuff. Not only do they give picks on the weekends, but they also write stories on gambling. So yesterday was the anniversary of something that happened last year. And I'd never thought of this until I read the story, but it changed the way sports books worked. It changed the game for a lot of sports books. So yesterday was the first anniversary of two events. The first, remember, Klay Thompson didn't play for 2 years.
Right.
He comes back last year, finally, right, which is great. It was great to see him back out there.
It was a great story.
And Draymond Green was injured at the time. Draymond Green somebody announces that he is going to suit up because he wanted to be there for.
Oh my God! You got to be kidding me!
So he wanted to be there for Klay Thompson, right? Which is, look, they won all these titles together.
Yeah.
So there was I don't know if it was a Patreon account. I don't know if it was a Spaces on Twitter. I don't know what it was, but there's these two guys that are radio hosts, but they also do a betting thing on the side. And people were listening, and one of the two guys got tipped off some information that Draymond was only going to suit up for the opening tip.
Oh, that's really, he actually thought to go to Draymond's props.
Yes.
Wow.
Not just him. People were listening to his show. So all the people that were listening, and then other people that are, I'm sure, in the know, there's multiple, I'm sure a lot of people got tipped off, all these betting people.
Yeah, the big brain probably.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so people started putting in ridiculous wagers on unders for Draymond Green points. One guy apparently put down, I think it was 20 grand, and he parlayed his under in points, rebounds, assists, and steal. All the props that you could do, he did all the unders.
Oh, my God.
Ended up winning $250,000.
Oh, my God.
Won a major payout. And it wasn't until about...
Wow.
It wasn't until about 20 minutes before tip-off when people found this out. And a couple of the sports books got on it right away. They froze all Draymond Green props. But then I think it was DraftKings had the biggest hit.
Oh, my God.
They didn't get word until 5 minutes before tip-off. So all these people, there's some people that put $10 down, but then there's the people that have money to play with that are putting 20 grand down
on
a 5-leg parlay, knowing that it was going to hit. And so these
they're doing a same game parlay,
making
all Draymond under. Oh my God!
So there is a clause in some sports books where it's you knew the outcome, but that's more so, Pete Rose managing the Reds, right? Not some guy who's listening to a podcast, a live show about betting, right? He doesn't actually know the event. So that changed a lot of the rules. I didn't get exactly, I don't remember the exact details, but they had to change some of the rules because of that kind of stuff.
Damn.
The same day, Ant, was that Chargers-Raiders game, the final game of the regular season, where if they tied, they would both go to the playoffs. So it was fascinating. I'm a FanDuel guy, right? So I'm reading it, and they had some higher up from FanDuel talking about it, and she was saying that it was going to be a huge hit on them as a company and other sports books, some sports books.
So all this liability on the tie.
Right, because...
how much was the tie?
Let me see if I could...
Because, by the way, everybody knew that a tie...
puts them both in the playoffs.
Was a possibility. So I don't know why you would make the tie give a high number. It's one thing. It's like soccer. They offer a draw.
Right.
You would have it if you did a 3-way deal and offer the tie. You would lower the you can't put out high odds for it. They would deserve to lose, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Because that was a reasonable proposition that those teams would tie.
So I just quickly Googled it, and the story pops up. According to the story on ESPN yesterday, typical odds for a tie in an NFL are 60-1 or higher.
Right.
And because since 1974, less than 1% have ended in tie, blah, blah, blah. So what people started doing was they started betting on the tie. And I don't know if the odds changed, but remember, Carson needed to crap the bed first against the Jags, who were 2-11 or whatever their record was, 2-14, and he does. And so now all of a sudden this tie comes into play, and it came down to the final seconds. Remember, the Chargers actually screwed it up. Brandon Staley screwed it up.
So isn't that, again, on the odds maker? Because if the tie, if you know that play, well, listen, we saw it this past week. Week 17 is crazy.
Yeah.
Or now it's week 18.
Right.
It's insane. So all kinds of scenarios. So you as an odds maker, it's incumbent on you to put odds out that reflect that.
Yeah, but you're not thinking that teams are going to play for a tie. Like, you're still going to probably make it, 30-1 instead of 60-1?
I don't know.
And apparently it wasn't that there was any, some guy put $10,000 down a tie, but every bettor in the country bet the tie almost out of fun.
Right.
And, you're getting 60-1 odds, right? And you do that at $10 bet, you're still getting a nice payout.
Yeah.
And so yesterday was yesterday's the anniversary of almost one of the biggest days where the books would have gotten killed. And a lot of it was the technicality of Draymond Green.
That's wild.
And then the tie all in the same game. It was, dude, I was locked into the story. It was a long story. They had people from the sports books talking about it. It was cool.
Well, you get these people, that do that stuff for a living.
Right.
That are so sharp. Like, they're in on any kind of discrepancy. They're in, right? Like, they know what's going on. And they're ready to pounce. I mean, the Big Brain does that. Listen, when he comes on the show every week, he's not selling picks. He's not giving you an 800 number to call.
Right, exactly.
He's giving you his honest opinion, what he's betting.
So in the story, I'm reading this right now again. So one bettor told ESPN that he built a same-game parlay around the tie. I don't know how this was allowed. I don't know what book he used, but he was able to bet both the Raiders and Chargers at plus 4.5 in a same-game parlay. And then, of course, he added the tie. He added overtime. And he also put total points scored. And his $1,000 bet, so this guy must have plenty to work with, would have scored him $850,000.
Damn, it was so close.
It was so close.
Oh, that's wild. That's pretty cool. You got to think like that, though, right? That's pretty wild. All right, let's get back to the phone lines. Let's go to Ronnie. You're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Ron.
Hey guys. Thanks for the call. I spoke to you guys before the Giants game, and I think I brought up the incidents where they should have moved or brought Dillard in and moved Tyler over to Lane's position. Driscoll is not playing at all.
The problem is that Mailata, you're moving he's a left tackle. I mean, that's what he is.
I think we had good luck putting him. I don't know. Again, you'll have to tell me.
Yeah, no, you're right. Listen, the only thing is in that game against the Giants, you almost want to give Driscoll another shot at it, right? Like that was the.
But we've had history with Driscoll, this
not
year.
A lot of history.
But he's been playing terrible. I'm not the only one saying that.
I know. Listen, I know you're not. I've heard it. That's why I'm addressing it.
And that's why I said that was our game. If you're going to make a change, because here's the problem. That Giants game, you had third stringers. I mean, I understand that there was free guys coming in at Jalen, which I don't understand. Please tell me why I understand if you bring a free guy in, you could throw his way and get an open receiver. But there was too many times something was going on where you got almost every other play, there's a free guy coming from the right side, coming right at Jalen. And it's like he had to rush his throws. Sometimes he got it away. But
that's what happens. You're overload. That's what overload is supposed to do.
But you're supposed to. I don't know. Maybe if you see that often enough, you bring it back. You keep it back.
Yeah, that's true. You're going to chip at times, but again, you got to get there. I mean, listen. That happens. That happens. So my point to you is, you want to see that now with Dillard?
Not now. Well, it's too late.
Because it's not too late. I mean, Lane. It's all about Lane and whether or not what Lane can give you, right, brother?
He's not going to give you those full 3 games. You know that. You and I know that he's going to be pulled out.
I don't know that. I mean, honestly,
I doubt he could pull through. No, because he hasn't finished the games when he was in.
I hear you, bro. I hear you. I don't know. I'm not in the guy's body, so I don't know. I can't tell you.
But here's what my concern is like you're going to be playing much better teams. Just the first team we get, whoever wins that, the first team we're going to get, again, you had third-stringer Giants players blowing past Driscoll. So you're going to have a much better, wait till even if we get, I'm not looking ahead, but if we get the 49ers.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's why I'm worried about it. That's why I'm worried about it.
Bosa's going to you might as well not even put Driscoll out.
Listen, I hear you. It's why I'm worried about that game.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but again, I need 80% Lane is better than anybody else I got, including Dillard.
I understand that, but don't you think you would have done that with the Giants game? Did that experiment?
So let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Do you like Jeff Stoutland? Are you comparing Ronnie's resume to Jeff Stoutland?
No, he's.
My only point to you is Jeff Stoutland is devising all that.
Do you think he has that say though?
Yes.
Down to the final.
Dude, trust me. When it comes to that line, when he speaks, they all listen. Sirianni, Steichen, no. Jeff Stoutland is calling shots there.
But I understand, but do you, like I said, what I'm concerned about is if Lane goes out in the first, second quarter, he gets 2 quarters in, and
I can't. I'll be honest with you. I don't know. Of course I'm worried about Lane Johnson. I said it 100 times this week. Yeah, I'm worried about him. I don't know. The other thing, too, is predicated that Dillard is an upgrade to Driscoll, which I don't know.
Where if he plays his position, I definitely think that line is better. Doing that.
So again, I go back to you, right? Because I can't tell you, and Driscoll looked horrible. So I was surprised at it, to be honest with you, that he looked this bad. But I go back to Stoutland, and I go, if there's one guy I'm going to trust with that group, it's Stoutland.
Yeah, and honestly, if you want to put out one of those, I think that's a good question to put out to the viewers, like one of those, like, what would everybody think, doing that experiment or leaving it as is? I would love to see what everybody else
the only person I really care about is Stoutland, what he thinks. Honestly, thanks, brother. Appreciate it. Listen, I'm not poo-pooing you. I understand exactly what you're talking about. And, yeah, it's dicey. I don't know what Lane – you're asking me, like, can Lane – play hold up? I don't know. I don't. How effective he's going to be. And that's why San Francisco bothers me. But, I can't tell you why they didn't try Dillard on that side and moved Mailata. I don't think they want to move Mailata. I think that's a big deal in moving Mailata. I don't think they want to do it. But again, in their one area, and I appreciate the call, Ronnie. It's good stuff. Good conversation. One area that I got to trust implicitly is Stoutland. I just do. Because he knows what Dillard has. He knows what Driscoll's situation. He knows moving Mailata. Because you know what? Dillard could be a net positive over Driscoll, but when you move Mailata, It could be an overall negative. So that's why I can't go, I'm right and Jeff Stoutland's wrong in that situation. All right, 610-632-0975. Cuz right here with the tune. Still one more segment to hang right here, 97.5 The Fanatic. And let's talk about the BetParx app. Yes, the BetParx app has everything you want. Trust me, it's got it all. We're just talking about all that stuff. The same game parlays and the props for everything. We got Sixers tonight. Laying a big number, 10.5. I'm feeling a Maxey tonight. I can see Maxey. I like Maxey over his assists as well. I think he has a big night tonight. And then you got all the football for the weekend. See, the BetParx app has to be with you all times. It's like a companion. Check out the BetParx app. BetParx.com has all the details for it. Sportsbook casino right in your pocket. Tremendous. And new customers get up to $750 in sportsbook credit for first bet's not a winner. Check it all out. BetParx. Got to be in PA or New Jersey. Got to be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Sixers tonight. I'm Andrew Salchunas, and this update is brought to you by Wawa. Wawa's bringing brisket back in a big way. Get the slow-cooked perfection on a sandwich. Brisket just got better at Wawa. I just heard Anthony talking about it. Sixers in action tonight. They host the Pistons. The game tips off at 7 o'clock, and you can listen live right here on the Fanatic. Flyers were on the Fanatic last night. They were in Buffalo taking on the Sabres, and they won 4-0. So the Flyers winning a couple of games last couple of nights. And we have the Eagles, who are the top seed in the NFC. Jeff McLean joined Anthony earlier today to talk about it all. You can hear that again on 97.5thefanatic.com. He did say that he expects to see Josh Sweat return for the playoffs. Keep it locked in the Fanatic for all the latest news and information. I'm Andrew Salchunas, and this is 97.5 The Fanatic.
It's the Cuz, Anthony Gargano. Weekdays 10 to 2 on 97.5 The Fanatic. The NFL playoffs are set. The Birds have their sights on another Super Bowl. Tomorrow, we break it all down. 97.5 The Fanatic's All-Star Day. Playoff Preview Edition. Listen all day. All of the Fanatics hosts together. And NFL experts and insiders all day. Talking Birds, playoffs, and Super Bowl. 97.5 The Fanatic's All-Star Day Playoff Preview Edition. Tomorrow.
Presented by the BetParx Casino and Sportsbook app, where odds, slots, bets, and games all come together in perfect harmony right in your pocket. Download now at betparx.com.
And 97.5 The Fanatic.
Brisket is back at Wawa, which means you could get a savory barbecue brisket sandwich or a creamy barbecue brisket mac and cheese bowl. Or you could get both on Wawa's new barbecue brisket mac and cheese panini. Your two favorites melted between perfectly toasty bread. It's the best of both worlds, a double whammy, a toast of two favorites. Brisket is back and better than ever at Wawa. Try it in a sandwich, bowl, or a panini. Gotta have a Wawa. Can you hear it? Wawa has officially perfected the harmony of salty and sweet in our salted white mocha handcrafted beverages, and it's music to our taste buds. Enjoy the sweet symphony of rich white mocha and salted caramel, topped with a decadent white chocolate drizzle. The flavors are perfectly orchestrated to add a tiny taste of bliss to your day. Get a salted white mocha latte, frozen cappuccino, or iced coffee today. Just around the corner at Wawa.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover, all for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter code IMPACT at checkout. That's harrys.com, code IMPACT. Enjoy.
At my age, I never dreamed I'd be dealing with opioid addiction.
I was pregnant and I couldn't stop.
Getting sidelined by an injury was bad, but the cravings were way worse.
Then I heard about 844-REACH-NJ.
They connected me to treatment and I had a healthy baby.
844-REACH-NJ was the call that made the difference.
Thank goodness I made the call.
So glad I made the call for both of us.
REACH-NJ. If you or someone you love is struggling with addiction, call 844-REACH-NJ from the New Jersey Department of Human Services.
When you hire your local CertaPro Painters, you get the power of doing it right. Detailed project proposals, excellent customer service, and trusted professionals who get the job done on time and on budget. The power of experience. We're kings of the scaffolding and pros with the stucco. We've been there, done that. Get your project started at CertaPro.com and get the power of pro.
CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Home improvement contract registration numbers are available at CertaPro.com.
Right now, you can get free carpet installation from the Home Depot. So while we're putting in your new carpet, you'll have more time to take care of the lawn, get started on dinner, or just lay down and relax on your new carpet after it's installed. Get your free carpet installation started with the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Minimum purchase of $4.99. Exclusions apply. U.S. only. See store for details.
I wanted to know why some people who get COVID-19 get it so bad. I found out it may be because they have a high risk factor, such as heart disease, diabetes, being overweight, smoking, and asthma. Even if symptoms feel mild, these factors can increase your risk of COVID-19 turning severe. So if you're at high risk and test positive, there are things you can do, like asking your healthcare provider if an authorized oral treatment is right for you. Learn about an option at treatcovid19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
I had a nighttime routine for my frequent heartburn. I would drink milk, I would sleep upright with more pillows, but that painful burning stayed. So I made Prilosec OTC part of my morning routine. With just one pill in the morning, Prilosec OTC prevents excess acid production, blocking heartburn day and night. Now I have a new nighttime routine. I call it sleeping.
One pill, 24 hours, zero heartburn. With Prilosec OTC. It's possible while taking Prilosec OTC. Use as directed for 14 days to treat frequent heartburn, not for immediate relief.
Hey, BetRivers Sportsbook fans, you could win up to $10,000 in bonus money instantly by playing our exclusive BetRivers Squares this football season. Place $10 or more in qualifying bets on any game and get a square for free. If the numbers on your square match the final score of the game, you win. BetRivers and America's favorite football squares. It's a whole new game.
Must be 21 plus. Available in Pennsylvania only. Void where prohibited. Restrictions on qualifying wagers, eligible bonus, and credit use. Full terms and conditions available at BetRiverSquares.com. Presented by Rivers Casino Pittsburgh. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Deep in the bowels of your building's basement, the wastewater pump system handles everything that comes from the bowels of your building's workers. Who can you trust to make sure that wastewater flows from your building to the city's water treatment facility? Pumpman Philly, the experts in wastewater system troubleshooting, emergency repairs, maintenance, and replacement. When your pumps go down, don't crap your pants. Call Pumpman Philly at 833-559-PUMP. 833-559-PUMP. PumpmanPhilly.com.
Hello? Whether you're at home or on the go, listen to 97.5 The Fanatic on Odyssey on your smartphone, Roku, LG Smart TV, Waze, and more. That's Odyssey, AUDACY. Check it out now.
All right. Birds are the number one seed, baby. So we can kick off the playoff celebration like no other. Do it with me and Tunis. We got a special playoff live broadcast at the Manayunk Brew Pub, presented by Corona. Oh, dude, this is awesome. Next Thursday, January 19th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. I'm pumped up over this. I didn't even know about it. It's great. It's going to be an awesome time. The first 100 fans get a custom Fanatic football T-shirt. Grab a table for lunch. Manayunk Brew Pub has incredible food. And enjoy $3 Corona and Corona-like cans. Get game day ready with 97.5 The Fanatic, presented by Corona. You're watching the Birds game from home. Stock up and get Corona delivered today. Oh, delivery, dude. I like that. OrderCorona.com. What? OrderCorona.com. Live la vida más fina with ice cold Corona Extra. Corona Light or Corona Premier. Relax responsibly. Corona Extra Beer, imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois. Got to be 21.
All right.
You're going to be in your old hood.
I know. I'm really excited for this, man.
You were a manny young man.
Yeah, 5 years. Spent my time there, and, a lot happened. I got married.
Yeah, cool.
No, got engaged, got married, and, Christy got pregnant, so, it's going to be cool being there next Thursday. And then Christy's actually going to come. She might actually bring the coop.
No.
And then we'll walk around a little bit.
Oh, yeah?
Well, I mean, first off, we're going to hang out after the show. And
you're going to walk the old
some Coronas and and then walk around, maybe see the old houses. Get
out.
We were two different spots while we were there, so
nice
during our time.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward. Like, it's cool. It's my old stomping grounds. Like, I always love when we're out in the Northeast. Right? Like, I was at Maggie's a couple weeks ago. Maggie's on the waterfront, which I went to a bunch of times when I lived out there, and so this is cool for me.
It's awesome, man. That's fantastic. That's going to be good times.
Yeah, definitely.
That'll be fun. I'm pumped up. I love listen, we're going to be at different remotes. I love being at different restaurants and bars during the playoff runs. It's always a blast.
Yeah, and the brewery, now brew pub. It's a shame what happened with the flooding.
What happened?
Remember that? Well, they had to change things, so they're presented by Corona, which is awesome. So they had to mix things up a little bit, and I'm glad that they're back and operating. So that's really cool. And but yeah, that flood. Remember, the flood was nasty.
It was terrible.
It was bad.
Yeah, it was.
So I'm glad that they're back up and running. And I spent a lot of nights at the brewery, so I'm looking forward.
That's gonna be cool, man. We'll have fun. I'm looking forward to it. That'll be next Thursday. Week from Thursday, we'll be there the 19th. So looking forward to that. Also, Chunos, as we hang out, don't forget All-Star Day is tomorrow, as we get to hang out with everybody. Everybody's going to be hanging out on different shows and kibitzing with everybody. It's going to be fun. It's our playoff preview. We'll have NFL experts, the whole thing.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time.
So I'm looking forward to that. We'll have some fun with that. Looking forward to all of that stuff.
I have a tweet for you. It's a great one from Ryan. Now, I am a fan of the M&Ms, and so are you. He does not like M&Ms, except, and he's spot on with this. He said, except when they're in the trail mix. And he's right.
Well, VG hit me up with the trail mix piece. That's a strong move.
You have a peanut, you have a raisin, an almond.
I agree. No,
and
the
then
trail
banging
mix.
M&Ms in there, too?
Yeah, it's great. No, he's right about that. It's way better with the trail mix.
Christy found a trail mix that I'm like a shark, and I just inhale it.
What is it?
It's instead of M&Ms, it's like the little Hershey Kisses, but it also has peanut butter Hershey Kisses in it. Like, good. I don't think it's a healthy trail mix. There's chocolate, there's peanut butter, but then there's like the nuts and raisins. But I'm grabbing a handful. A lot of chocolate. It's delicious.
Yeah, well, that sounds like a good trail mix, though, dude.
Oh, it's a quality. Yeah,
right?
Oh, yeah.
The nuts and the chocolate with the nuts and the raisins. I mean, that's a natural, natural go-to.
Hey, it's a beauty combo. Beautiful combo.
It is. Strong. Sixers tonight. So the line is jumped. And thanks to my man, Kenny C on Twitter, who said the Sixers are 13.5 now.
That's got to be
And that's because there's injuries. And that's because no Bogdanovich or Duran.
Oh, wow. Okay.
For the Pistons. They're big. Bogdanovich is one of their, obviously, best players, scorer. And no Duran, who's a young big, who's a player. So they're going to have to start. I think that Sadiq Bey will have a big game for them.
All right.
And they'll start Stewart over Duran. Isaiah Stewart.
I still remember last year.
Sixers should roll tonight.
I thought Isaiah Stewart was going to kill LeBron last year. Remember that? You went after him.
Yeah.
Like ran into the one tunnel and came out the other.
I mean, you bring Joe back tonight?
Well, I was about to say.
You might as well let Joe rest another day.
That's why the line jumped.
I know you did. That's why I quickly hit you with that.
No, you probably sit him another night. Montrezl Harrell's playing great basketball right now. You go another night with Trez.
Yeah.
He scored 20 points again the other night. It's the Pistons. You win this game.
Yep.
It's like the Saints game that the Eagles should have won.
Exactly. By the way, according to Jeff Passan.
Oh, yes.
How about this?
Unreal.
So, Carlos Correa, remember, the Mets swooped in, offered him a contract, then saw the physical and went, nah. And so they backed off. Well, the Twins are going to bring him back. They offered a 6-year, $200 million contract to Correa. However, by the way, it can max out at $270, but it's also pending a physical.
So don't forget, the Mets weren't the first team.
No, they were the second team.
The Giants was a 13-year, $300+ million contract. Everything was beautiful.
Yeah.
He had one conversation with Gabe Kapler and said, "I'm out. I don't want to be with this weirdo." That's not true. It was the physical, and then the Mets thing. But I would imagine. I think this is it. Like I think they'll be fine.
Well, you would think because he was there.
He was just there, right?
They would have to. My guess is that they know the history, and so that's why they structured the contract. Could be $270. So, all right, let's go back to the phone line 610-632-0975. T-Love, what's happening, man?
What's going on, fellas? If I may, I'd like to shout out Jesus, Santa Claus, and Muhammad Ali, all Capricorns who shared the zodiac sign with myself. As this is our birthday. Put that out there, man.
My zodiac sign is Capricorn.
Capricorn. That's right, man. I like that. Hey, listen. I was just on the line. I had to switch lanes a couple of times. But you talked about these two. Well, I talked about last week about rug pull fever. Okay?
Yes.
And you see it again forming where these people, they don't want to see with their eyes. Okay, we didn't have to blow out the Giants. All we had to do was win the game. It was a purely vanilla offense that they threw out there. We're not going to tip our hand. We have 2 weeks to go. Come on, people. Get with the program. Don't doom and gloom. Doom and gloom. This is the fever that it causes, man. This rug. They've had the rug pulled out so many times from under them that they just can't see the rainbow that's coming. And it's a shame, man, because this is a great year for us, man. And just believe the Eagles will get there, okay? Believe. Stop worrying. Stop making up scenarios where they don't win.
Listen, like we don't have a crystal ball, but to your point, it's the playoffs, man. Like this is where you have to be unbridled. And they're coming off of a 14-3 season. I mean, this is one of the best seasons in the history of the franchise.
It's crazy. Doom and gloom. All you hear, we got to buy. It's 2 weeks before we have to play the next game. We will be fine, and it will be great. Listen, it's going to be great. We had him in a great year. I want to switch lanes. The NFL has taken a lot of credit for what went on with DeMar and the way everything was handled. And I hope that this is an opportunity. Okay, for a long time I've been saying how underpaid NFL players are. And I've always wondered what the deal is with their players union and why can't they get guaranteed contracts for these guys. They play the most dangerous sport, okay, that we love. And these guys, okay, I'm glad that they decided to pay DeMar, his full salary, is what I heard. But how many other players, man, have been hurt and don't know where their next paycheck is coming? You can have a knee injury and they can let you go. These guys, man, are underappreciated. The next time we say, well, these players get they get too much money and they're overpaid and they got.
Dude, I hear you. And it's funny when you contrast it to baseball and basketball. I mean, look, NBA guys aren't, you're not even playing the full allotment of the schedule. Yeah, and all that money guaranteed. I hear you. And the enjoyment that we get out of football is something. T-Love, great stuff. Listen, it's our favorite sport. We get a lot of joy out of that thing. It's true. Kingston, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. King.
Hey, Cuz, hey, Chewis, hope you guys are having a good day.
You too, Kingston.
Thank you. I think at times, in Philadelphia, because we've been through so much, we tend to just focus on the negatives. I don't want to hear about moving a left tackle to a right tackle. If there's anyone on earth that I think knows what they're talking about with offensive linemen, it's Jeff freaking Stalin. How many offensive coordinators have a T-shirt that they sell out? No, it's just Jeff Stalin. He knows what he's doing.
It was funny. I was listening to that caller, and he sounded like a nice guy. I understood his concern. But I mean, what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to look like Jeff Stoutland's a guy.
It's Jeff Stoutland.
Exactly. There you go. All right, listen, I trust him. He's around every day. I trust him implicitly.
He found a rugby player that can't spell football and turned him into a Pro Bowl left tackle. I think he knows what he's doing. He has a pretty good idea of what he's doing.
Yeah, man. I hear you, brother.
But I'm happy you asked the conversation about a lack of hype. I have a friend of mine, John. He complains about Jonathan Gannon every second that he gets. But we need to be a little bit more hyped. And I know the past few weeks didn't pan out the exact way that maybe some of us wanted to do. But we purposely had a very vanilla game plan against the Giants on Sunday. It was obvious. We have a much-needed bye coming up, and anybody who wants to beat us has to come into our house to do so. There's no one in the NFC that I'm scared of, including Dak interceptions, that third-stringer Purdy, Kirk coupons, or that old guy from Florida who just had a supermodel break up with him and divorce him. None of those people scare me. We have a bye week coming up. Let's get it. Go freaking Birds.
I love it. Go freaking Birds, King. You're the man, brother. I need more of you next week. Yeah, you even gave it. You got the bells going.
He was fired up.
Got me excited.
I appreciate that out of
He's
Kingston.
like, and if there's anybody that knows what the freak Jeff Stoutland T-shirt.
Yeah, the caller, that was nice and all, but first of all, how many times we talk about the position coaches know their players sometimes more than the actual coaches.
That position player.
So he knows a thing or two.
And when he was surprised, do you think he's has that kind of say? Yes. And then some. If Jeff Stoutland went, hey, Jonathan Gannon, I got a thing for you for your defensive line. Jonathan Gannon's listening. I got a morsel for you. He's going to listen. Yeah, he's got that kind of of sway.
Whatever.
Gerald, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Gerald.
How you doing? I'm glad to be on the show now. I'm an Eagles fan, but I'm a politician as well when it comes to the sports. And the money is right now Cowboys-Niners Conference Championship.
Yeah, that don't mean anything. You know that, Gerald.
Can you hear me?
I hear you. I don't know what that means,
Hello.
the money. What's that mean?
The money is where the fans want to see the matchup. Right now.
Who cares what they say?
Amazing. Say that one more time.
Who cares what they say?
Listen.
I'm saying, like, who cares? Who cares that the fans are betting Cowboys and the Niners?
If the Cowboys go into Philly and come out with a win, our starting quarterback is from Texas. He's in the Pro Bowl. Listen, Cowboys, Niners.
Get out.
So he said he was an Eagles fan, but then
You're right.
ended up saying our.
Yeah. I'm an Eagles fan, but the money is on Cowboys Niners.
See,
our quarterback's from Texas.
If he ended up saying something like
Jalen Hurts, I get it. He's from Texas. I understand it.
If he said something like, listen, I'm worried that the league's going to do something because that's where the money is. That's what people want. All right. But he was just straight up going, this is what the money's saying, so that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, ridiculous. Stupid. Again, stupid.
Money's been wrong before. Public bets have been wrong before.
Listen, who cares what the public... First of all, it's nonsense. It doesn't mean anything. And look, I do think the Cowboys are going to beat Tampa. I do. I actually think that. But I can't. I'm sorry. I can't see them coming in to Philadelphia in the cold and winning an NFC and winning that game. I just don't see it.
With a quarterback who's making mistakes left and right.
I just don't see it. I mean, again, they haven't showed anything like that. They have been a failure every time they're expected to do something. They come up small. Why is that going to change? Why does that change?
Yeah, why is this the year for that?
You know.
By the way, a little NFL news. The Ravens agreed.
Lamar?
No. A lot of money, though. They agreed to a 5-year, $100 million deal, $45 million of which is guaranteed with Roquan Smith, making him the highest-paid linebacker
He's a great player,
in NFL history.
He's a great player.
Oh, player.
He's a great
history
player.
Made, though, with the contract.
Look at that. Let's go to Casey. You're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Casey.
And Tunis, how are you guys?
What's happening, Case? What's going on, brother?
Now listening to you. Listening to T-Love before, like, Mr. Potato Head came on and started talking about the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
And I was selfish on Sunday. I'm down at the stadium. We're playing the JV, and I wanted to feel like I felt when we beat the Vikings in the NFC Championship game, where the whole second half was a party. And I didn't want a close game. So I was a little mopey about locking up the number one seed. I'm looking at the scoreboard in San Fran's up 20 on Arizona, and we're watching Davis Webb run quarterback draws, but I'm over that now. And here we are, the number one seed, and I think the NFL has taken very good care of us. And that Tampa Bay Cowboys game is Monday night. They're going to be on a short week. Whoever ends up coming here is going to be on a short week coming to our place.
Yeah, that's a great point, Case. Great point, man. And listen, I understand.
The Vikings maybe, but the Giants could maybe beat the Vikings and end up being the lowest seed available. But I'm dying for the Cowboys to go beat Tampa Bay.
Oh, that'll get us. How great will that be? Yeah.
When they lose to us, they whine for 9 months about how they had to play back-to-back road games on a short week. Wah wah.
Yeah, you know what? I would love to see that. I'll be honest with you. I would love to see. I agree with you. It's funny because I know the Giants are like a chic pick to beat Minnesota. I think Minnesota wins. I think Minnesota wins, and I think you're right. I think the Cowboys go down, and because I think their front will create some pressure against Brady, and I think the Cowboys win the game, and we'll get that Case, and then I don't think we'll have to worry about people being lukewarm, man. When it's Eagles Cowboys in a divisional round. What?
I agree. Form holds. The Niners win. The Vikings win. And we have.
I would love to see. That'll get the fan base rocking.
Smack them.
Yes.
I'm going to call you every day next week.
Do we?
I know I'll only get through once.
Yes.
But I'm calling you every day next week.
I love it, brother.
Stay right with you, son.
Great call. Thanks, brother. See you, Case. Dude, I would actually like that. Would be is that your first choice too?
What, Eagles Cowboys?
Yeah.
I'd rather stick it to the Giants. No, I'm kidding. I probably would actually want Eagles Cowboys just because of the storyline.
I forgot you.
No, but the storyline this year, because of the weird 1-1, the Cowboys fans that you only beat us because we played our backup, but then when they played Minshew and won, it was we're the better team.
I mean, seriously,
and that's weird.
Coming in like.
Yeah, and then there's no excuses. It's health on, as healthy as you could possibly be. Both quarterbacks available. No excuses after that.
That would be awesome.
And
That's a damn monster movie.
I would hand in the woes of Christmas Eve for a playoff win over the Cowboys, obviously. I know a lot of people were upset around the Delaware Valley on Christmas Eve after the Eagles lost. But you would 100% take that if it meant beating them in the playoffs.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Like, that game, I didn't feel a little bit of anything.
I was entertained. And it sucked that they lost, but it was Minshew.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of how I looked at it. And I mean, whatever. I mean, I wasn't. That game didn't. Now listen, this game would be everything. How about T. Will? I'm getting chills just thinking about it. I mean, the Eagles Cowboys divisional round. Oh, dude, I think I really want that. I think that'll be incredible. Oh man, we'll get all kinds of great hate going. The kiddies, the schools will be doing Eagle chants. Frankly, I think you're an a-hole. Pump your ass. Dude, you got me in knots right now. If I'm hearing this, I would have gotten fired this morning because I would have knocked the guy out at Wawa. You got me all in a froth. Stay tuned. Best show ever coming up next. We love you guys. Stay tuned for the best show ever and All-Star Day tomorrow. We'll see you then.
Fanatic Sports Update.
The top-seeded Birds. I'm Andrew Salchunas, and this update is brought to you by Chickies and Pizza in Malvern. Grab lunch with the cousin, myself, the Chunas, this and every Friday as we get you set for the Birds game. That's Chickies and Pizza in Malvern, this and every Friday for lunch with the cousin and myself, the Chunas. The Eagles top seed in the NFC. They have the bye week this upcoming weekend. Then they find out